The following is an exclusive broadcast property presentation of the Show Me Sports Network and is a high-fidelity, all-digital broadcast. This broadcast is copyright by the Show Me Sports Network for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast without the Show Me Sports Network's written consent is prohibited.
It's time for Southern Boone County Eagles football on the Show Me Sports Network. This is the Southern Boone County Eagles pregame show on the exclusive home for Eagles football, the Show Me Sports Network. We'll recap last game's highlights, set the stage for kickoff, and even get the thoughts of the head coach during the pregame show, all while we get set to bring you the exciting play-by-play action of your Southern Boone County Eagles. The biggest and absolute best coverage in mid-Missouri is on the air as the Show Me Sports Network broadcast crew are ready in the broadcast booth. Exclusive pregame coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football is brought to you by Avon with Michelle Carty, Boone County Journal, Centurion Cares, Eddie Goodell Society, Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC, Last Sentinel Firearms, Retrieving Freedom, Sawdust Studios, Southern Boone Booster Club, and Zealous WBGT. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football on the Eagles Radio Network. Now let's go live to the field to the Show Me Sports Network broadcast booth.
And a very pleasant good evening, everyone. Blake Gazaway joined by Mike Freeze as we are just a little under half an hour away from getting Week 4 underway of Missouri high school football as the Southern Boone County Eagles playing on the road. The first time this season they've been on the road as they are down the road at Boonville taking on the Pirates. Both teams coming in at a 2-1 record. Both teams in a Class 3 District 5 matchup, also a Tri-County Conference matchup. So, to say the least, at least some bragging rights is definitely on the line tonight.
Every game we have this year is going to be, we're going to say the same thing. It means a lot because it really does. We have a lot of teams that are very equal when you look at it on paper, and no different tonight. Boonville's got I would say, a pretty identical program to football-wise. They win just about as much as we do. They have just as much of success as we do. They always have some exciting athletes, and no different tonight. They probably have the most exciting player we're gonna see tonight outside of Blair Oaks, and that's going to be Dakota Troost, who's a junior, 6'1", 185-pound, do everything. He'll line up at running back, he'll line up as wide receiver, he'll line up in the Wildcat as quarterback, and when he's back in that formation, there's a reason he's getting the ball, and he's fast, he's quick, he's patient, he's a strong runner as well. So again, this is probably, you could argue, he's the best player we're going to see this year. A lot of talent in Boonville, some good experience. They know how to win. They just came off a big win from last week. Are they going to be down a little bit? Who knows? It's tough. That's what's great about this great game that we have here. We're on a beautiful complex, beautiful sky. There was a little bit of rain earlier tonight in the area, but it looks like it's gone past us for right now.
Well, that win you're talking about was the 59-58 win over Hallsville. That was at Hallsville, a game that went into overtime even, and they were able to prevail and get their second win of the season. As you talked about, arguably we're going to see with Troost probably, I think there's a case to be made, just the most athletic player that we'll see this season for sure. You talked about outside of Blair Oaks. He is just an athlete, and I was watching him actually in pregame warm-ups right after they got out here on the field, was down on the field a little bit, got here, got set up, but watching him just move his body and do some things, and it was the fact that he could string all these things together. Like, it was a punt that he jumped in the air, turned, landed, caught the ball over his shoulder, and I don't mean a basket catch, like snagged it out of the air, and I'm thinking, man, I would have been lucky just to be able to turn around, let alone catch a ball like that. But that just shows the athleticism of him, and why he is always a great player. And he was there picking up his teammates. That's another thing that was great to see. Was he was helping him out, talking to him, picking him up, talking about some things, very situational things that we very well could see tonight. And really, I like to see that as an all-around player.
Yeah. So, like I say, big game tonight. Looking at the district standings right now, Eldon is 3-0, but they are not in first place. There are 3 teams that are 2-1. Moberly at 2-1 is actually in first place, like we talked about a couple weeks ago. When you play up and you play a 4A school, you get extra points. Mm-hmm. And Moberly and Mexico both are in the same conference that include a lot of 4A teams like Hannibal, Mexico, and so forth. So they'll get bonus points. Now, I was wrong a couple weeks ago when I said you used to lose points when you play down, but thankfully that doesn't happen anymore. So Eldon at 3-0 is second place. Boonville is third place, and Southern Boone is at fourth place, even though we have the same record as the other two. So that just shows you again, if you get to be the top two are going to get a bye. So it's really important to take what you have here, and certainly this, like the last 3 weeks of the season, this is going to be a good game. It's going to be close. There's no reason to expect it won't be back and forth. No reason to expect that at all.
Well, we're going to take a quick break here and then be back with our pregame interviews. We'll be joined by head coach for the Southern Boone County Eagles and Mark Ross. We'll take a quick break as you're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
At Centurion Cares, for more than 3 decades, their focus has been on exceeding customer expectations for contact center software solutions. Their innovative communication solutions include utility interactive voice response software that allows for smart communication features that let your utility deliver superior customer service 24/7. They also provide other streamlined services like automatic call distribution, automated customer callback, reporting, and quality assurance. To find out more about how Centurion Cares can help your business, call them at 727-421-5300 or look them up online at centurioncares.com. Centurion Cares, innovative communication solutions.
Welcome back to the Southern Boone County Eagles pregame show here on the Show Me Sports Network. We're joined by Southern Boone County Eagles football head coach Mark Ross. Coach Ross, thanks for joining us before tonight's game.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for having me.
Well, last week your squad wrapped up their 3-game homestead hosting the California Pintos. You got the thrilling 29-28 victory. What were your thoughts on the game last week?
Yeah, a little closer than we'd like, but, we're just happy that we came out on top. Again, that same thing that we've been talking about the last few weeks is that resiliency from the boys to continue to fight until the very end and ultimately find a way to get it done.
Well, you knew going into it that California was a different team really than the 2 teams that you saw the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. They were going to spread the thing out a little bit more and take some deep shots and those sorts of things and try and put us in some bad positions, based on their alignment and some of those things. And then, of course, a different defensive look than we've seen as well. And I thought the boys did a nice job of making some adjustments and, again, finding ways to get stops and those sorts of things.
Well, on paper, I really liked how the teams matched up, and it definitely held true to that. And really, the thing that I took away from the game that I kept thinking about was the old saying about, we'll sell you the seat, but all you need is the edge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously, you kind of hinted on it. The game was closer than you'd like it to be, but the guys were put in positions to face that adversity, and they had some wins. They had minor, victories along the way, culminating in obviously getting the win overall from the game.
I thought the guys did a great job in some of those situations that you could fold really easily. And again, just continuing to fight and continuing to get better each and every week. And I think that was a result of last week's win.
And you really saw the momentum of the game going back and forth, dictated as, there was times when you guys answered each other's touchdown or drive, whatever it was, the other team responded to that.
Yeah, there were times where you felt like, okay, finally things are swinging our way and we're going to kind of hold them out. They'd answer right back, and then our guys would do a nice job of finding a way to answer right back. It kind of came down to, who was going to have the ball last and the longest and have enough time to get it done.
Well, it gave you guys a chance, too, as we saw both teams capitalizing on turnovers from the other team. Gave you a chance to really, get in and see how the players would respond to that.
Yeah, again, those big momentum changes in a game that can really make or break a team, and finding ways to kind of battle through those things, and guys going out and make a mistake and then, not getting down on themselves and continuing to focus on the next play. And that was what we were really happy with.
Well, in the first half of the game, we saw some very long drives that if you take away the turnovers that ended the drive, they were some good-looking series as it just didn't end the way you wanted it to.
Yeah, I think honestly we left a lot of points on the board there, or off the board there, between turnovers and the penalties. We ultimately were really hurting ourselves in some of those situations. So we've got to do a better job of kind of managing some of those things and eliminating things that we can control.
Is that something that you guys discussed at all about that, it came down to be the 1-point game, but barring there were some of those things, balls not put on the ground, some other things like that it'd have been a totally different game?
Yeah, I mean, that was the first thing, come Monday afternoon that we talked about was, putting ourselves in a better position and doing the things that we can do to prevent ourselves from being in some of the situations that we were in.
And really, we talked about it on our pregame, but really it was just a few big plays for California that kept them, the ability to hang around.
Yeah, I think either way you look at it, we had some opportunities missed. I think they had some opportunities missed that could have opened the game up either direction. And the ones that they were able to capitalize on, I thought the guys did a great job of taking coaching and understanding, how we wanted them to play different situations and making adjustments so that they didn't continue to get some of those big plays on us.
Well, your squad really was able to do well in the game on their third down conversions. There were several drives that were kept alive by some crucial third down pickups. At one point, you guys were I think you started off 4 of 4 or 5 of 6, somewhere in that ballpark on third down conversions.
Really, the thing that was different last week, I felt like, compared to the previous 2 weeks, was our success rate on first and second down. Being in those situations where third and manageable instead of third and long, makes a big difference in things that we have available at our disposal to call, things that we like against their defense. So ultimately, I think that was one of the biggest changes that we saw last week offensively, was that success rate and those other downs that put us in a good position on third down last week.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I obviously don't keep that stat, but there were a lot of times that it was third and very short or third and manageable, which is something we really hadn't seen much of the season. But it lets you open that playbook and, start doing some of those things. Like you said, if it's third and long, you really don't have any chance to do.
Yeah, and especially as much pressure as they were bringing, they were really forcing you to throw the ball out underneath. And at that point, you're just hoping that you can break a tackle, the way that they were playing us. And so having those third and short situations really opens up the run, the pass, and then throw the play action in there to kind of keep them guessing a little bit. And so we've got to continue to get better at those things each and every week, of putting ourselves in those positions.
Well, going into halftime, you were trailing by 1. What was the discussion in the locker room?
Really kind of the same discussion that we had on Monday, that if we just control the things that we can control and put ourselves in a better situation, we felt like that score could have been significantly different at halftime, but that we were going to come out and go put points on the board in the second half and get defensive stops. And I think the guys did a nice job of taking some of those adjustments. And it was a similar conversation to how we still felt at the end of the game, but we felt like the second half there was much better execution in some of those things.
Well, the second half of the game was very much a back and forth as well, very similar to the first half. Each team kind of answering each other kind of in this chess match of sorts, but you guys went for a 2-point conversion in the third quarter. That was successful, and that really seemed like that started the shift of the momentum that, was back and forth, but that kind of gradually started tipping that needle, staying on your guys' side.
Yeah, that was a critical situation because ultimately it gives us the chance that if they put a few more touchdowns on the board there, that we can still keep it within certain possession limits there. So I was really happy that the guys were able to – Austin did a nice job of extending the play and being able to find Kellen in the end zone for that 2-point conversion. And so that was really critical at that point in the game, and I would agree that was a huge momentum change for us there.
Well, California was able to score again in the third quarter. Then they scored early in the fourth quarter. What was the mindset after they took the lead? What did you tell the guys?
Just to continue to stay on the focus of us, continue to go out and find ways to get it done for each other and to go out and compete for each other. And then the guys were all in doing that and ultimately doing a good job of opening up holes. And then we're back on defense, getting stops when we needed to get stops.
Well, you were able to score, your squad was able to score less than a minute left in the game. That made it a 28-27 advantage for California. Walk us through the process on the sidelines of the decision of going for the 2-point conversion to try to take the lead.
Ultimately, it really comes down to the kind of the flow of the game. Thought that California was doing a lot of really good things offensively, and that there was still a lot of time on the clock. and that if we could take the lead, felt like they were going to we're going to force them to have to be a little bit more aggressive. I think, always when you're at home and you're in those situations, it's a whole lot easier to put yourself in that position when you're at home than on the road, and their crowd's a little bit bigger and a little bit rowdier. And if roles are reversed there, it just makes it that much tougher. And we just felt like it was the right decision in that moment.
I think I made the comment in the press box that the decision to go for 2 would either, really just kick off your regime as head coach with a bang, and people are going to just get excited, or it's going to leave a scratch in their head saying, I don't know about this.
Yeah, it's one of those decisions. If you convert, you're pretty smart in it, and if you don't, they're not real happy with the decision. So that's part of it. Ultimately, just trying to make the best decisions, put our kids in a position to win. And again, we just felt like it was the right situation in that moment.
There was a timeout called, and you guys kind of thought about it or talked about it a little bit more. Was there any doubt leading up to the play running that, if that was the right call or not?
We actually misaligned, and that was the reason for taking the timeout. But thankfully, it really kind of worked out in our favor, because I also didn't like the way that they were aligned defensively to what we had just called. So we kind of switched things up, based on that previous alignment. And we did some stuff a little bit differently than what we practiced in that situation, and guys were able to execute and find a way to get it done.
Well, it was successful. It was just a beauty of a play on the execution. And I think the thing that stands out to me, and we've talked about this before, is it was a high situational football IQ that was on display for that play on multiple players.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the best things that we have going for us. Our skill guys know and understand that Austin has the great capability of sending some of those plays, and he had an option there where it was quarterback run, or we had an RPO option on the outside, and just the understanding of Kellen to stay in a good position and kind of work with Austin as you roll out of the pocket there, and then Austin wait for the defense to come up on him before dumping it over the top and putting it in the end zone.
Well, not only did it make a great throw, but also threw the towel in as well, kind of signifying that it wasn't over for California, but it was getting pretty close.
We saw that towel go in the air, and, we didn't know if it was a flag or what it was, so we were all trying to hold everybody back, and a lot of excitement. Thankfully, it wasn't a flag, and it was just a player towel, and everything worked out.
Well, I think the thing that I also liked about it was it showed that you have the trust in your players. It showed that, if they do their jobs, they're going to be rewarded. And again, we talk about the momentum. That almost just pegged the needle as far as it could go for Southern Boone.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a testament to these kids and things that they're doing, and they're starting to really grasp the things that we're asking them to do offensively and defensively. It's a real testament to them, for me to have the trust that we can go out and compete in a situation like that and ultimately have a chance to win a game in a close situation.
Well, after you guys took the 1-point lead, you put the game back into the hands of your defense, who, again, really just continuing to rise to the occasion. And just like last week, it seemed like as the game went on, they got better. They played more as a unit, and particularly on the last drive, they put it all together and were firing on all the cylinders.
That's something that obviously we want them to go out and compete in those big moments, and they've really showed up in the red zone here the last couple of weeks and gotten stops. We just got to get them to realize that, hey, you're capable of doing those things on each and every down and preventing them from getting in that situation to have a chance to go down and tie. And the competitive nature of these kids is what we love.
Well, they had some big-time sacks, I believe 3 on the night. They also had several QB pressures and several hurries, which, again, doesn't really show up anywhere that you see the stat-wise, but it caused the quarterback to make some not-wise decisions.
That was something that we talked about going into that game. We had to find ways to create some pressure, and ultimately the sack by Weston Jennings on that last drive was huge. It kept the clock running, forced them to use a timeout in that situation, which is good because they still had 2 timeouts headed into that drive, and we were able to force them to use that and then maybe not give them some time to really draw up the play that they wanted to end the game. So that was a bigger play, I think, than most people realize. Just finding a way to go out and compete, go out and make those plays in critical situations is huge. And so we're really happy for Weston. And I also think it's a testament to how the D-line was playing there in that situation too, because it pulled that tackle in from on our defensive line and allowed him to come clean off the edge and make a big hit on the quarterback and really kind of keep him guessing as to where pressure was coming from. And, I think in that moment, he was getting a little tired of getting hit.
Starting junior quarterback Austin Evans had another great game. He was 14 of 24 for 176 yards, totaled 4 touchdowns. He did throw a couple interceptions on the day, but that puts him just shy of 750 yards on the season and 9 total touchdowns.
he's been playing tremendous. And as far as, the first interception goes, it's a coachable moment. And, we had the conversation about that situation. And that's the thing about him. You won't see him make that mistake again, and still think that on the second one, he made the right decision and put the ball where he needed to. It just ultimately didn't go our way. And that's what I love about Austin is you really only have to tell him something one time, and he's very coachable and does a great job of making those adjustments.
Well, he's still averaging 19.2 yards per completed pass.
That's been the big thing, is the ability to connect on some of those big plays. He's been extremely accurate so far, and the passes that he's not completing have typically been some of more of the underneath stuff where we've had pressure and maybe not picked up some blitzes the way that we should. And again, correctable and coachable moments there, and he's just going to continue to get better.
Well, junior receiver Chase Morris, he led the team once again with 127 yards. That was on 11 receptions. Also had 2 touchdowns.
He just continues to shine, and him and Austin seem to really be on the same page and really be clicking on all cylinders there. I think Chase does a nice job, first, of running his route, but also he's extremely deceptive. He does a really nice job of changing gears and changing speeds throughout the course of his route. That's pretty hard to teach those things, and it really becomes natural for him, and just really a pit bull out there, and he just goes and battles on every play.
Well, juniors Kellen Ash and Tristan McKee, they both hauled in a touchdown pass as well.
Yeah, I think that's something that things that they're doing is helping to open Chase up, and the plays that Chase is making, I think, is also helping to open them up as well. Nice to see Tristan catch that touchdown, and Kellen got involved in the run game and had a bunch of rushing yards, which is really nice and helped us out in a number of different ways offensively. Then also was able to get both of those 2-point conversions. So, it was really kind of a big night for a lot of skill guys across the board.
Well, on the ground, your squad racked up 237 yards. That was with 5 different ball carriers, averaging as a team 5.6 yards a carry. Mentioned 5 different carriers, but they're all different on their approach.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's something that's really nice is everybody's just kind of a different style of running back. There's receivers coming in motion and taking handoffs and those sorts of things. I think they all really complement each other really well. And Teller Mange had a huge play on 4th down on that last possession. He's a guy that's seen very limited carries, but a senior who's very resilient and really knows what's going on. He's always in tune with the situation and made a huge play. And so we're really happy for him. And we've got to just continue to be able to spread the ball out like we have been here the last few weeks and continue to find ways to get other guys involved a little bit more, and things can really take off here.
Well, defensively, and we hit on it a little bit, continued to do a great job swarming to the ball, getting multiple hats on the ball. They just seem to be tracking well. They're tracking quite well at what's going on in the play.
I think one thing that they've done really nicely, like you said, was getting multiple hats to the ball, and that's something that we talk about every day in practice, and we want to make sure that we're getting all 11 hats to the ball, so we've got to continue to improve on that a little bit more, but I think the thing that the guys have been doing really well is block destruct and getting off some blocks and being able to get to their gaps and be assignment sound, I think has been huge for us.
I think really the only concern that I have taking everything with the game taken away from it is the number of penalties. There were 17 penalties called on the Eagles last week.
That's definitely something we've got to get cleaned up, and we've talked about extensively this week. And, I think probably 15 of those were on offense, with about 9 of them being false starts. Again, those are things in our control, and we've got to be locked in those moments and eliminate some of those mistakes.
Yeah, I think you're right on your numbers there. Most of them were false starts. Had a pulling guard or someone who was going to be pulling on the play. They left just a hair too early. But, those are the sort of penalties, obviously, that can be cleaned up. They can be corrected. But it's one, too, that I can live with that a little more because they're out there. They're just leaving a hair too early because they know what their role is, what their job is. They got to get over there and lead the way. So I can live with those a little more.
Yeah, absolutely. Being a little bit antsy to fire off the ball a little bit quicker isn't necessarily always a bad thing. Just cleaning up some of the timing of it. And when those things are eliminated, I really think that offense is going to take off a little bit more than what it seems to be, kind of picking up some pace here.
Well, tonight your Eagles hit the road for the first time this season, traveling to Boonville to take on the Pirates. It's a Class 3 District 5 matchup, along with a Tri-County Conference game. The Pirates are 2-1 on the season, beating Hallsville on the road last week. That was an overtime final by a margin of 1 at 59-58. So, again, they're kind of in the same boat with a 1-point game that we are in. But leading up to the game this week, how's practice been?
The guys have done a nice job of really understanding what we're asking them to do. Again, I feel like this is a different style of offense and defense than what we've seen thus far in the season. I think they've got some really good athletes and probably the best athletes that we've seen in the Truce kids so far this season. Extremely dynamic offensively, defensively, and on special teams. So we've got to do a good job of accounting for him and some of their defensive linemen that they have. And if we can do those things, the guys are going to go out and compete like we know they will and put us in a good position to win another ball game.
How's the health of everybody this week?
Everybody's doing really well. I think this is the first week where we actually have nobody on the injury list, so that's always nice and provides a little bit more depth for us, and so we're excited for that. Getting some guys back that haven't seen any action yet, that we're going to try and get a little more involved here across the board in all three areas, and that's going to help us in other positions as well.
Anything else you're expecting to see tonight?
I think it's going to be a defensive battle back and forth, and as long as these guys continue to improve each week like they have been, it's going to be a fun, exciting night.
Well, Coach Ross, thanks for joining us for our pregame show tonight. Any final thoughts before you get out of here?
Hey, we appreciate the support and hope to see everybody out there tonight.
Hey, let's go get win number 3.
That sounds great. Thank you.
That's Southern Boone County Eagles football head coach Mark Ross. We're going to take a break and be right back with more of your Southern Boone County Eagles pregame show. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football on the home of the Eagles, the Show Me Sports Network.
You've been listening to the Southern Boone County Eagles pregame show on the exclusive home for Eagles football, the Show Me Sports Network. The excitement is building in the stands, and the tension is rising on the sideline as kickoff is just around the corner. Exclusive pregame coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football has been brought to you by Avon with Michelle Carty, Boone County Journal, Centurion Cares, Eddie Goodell Society, Han Custom Laser Engraving, LLC, Last Sentinel Firearms, Retrieving Freedom, Sawdust Studios, Southern Boone Booster Club, and Zealous WBGT. The biggest and absolute best coverage in mid-Missouri continues, as we'll be back with kickoff right after these messages. This has been the Southern Boone County Eagles pregame show on the exclusive home for Eagles football, the Show Me Sports Network.
We need you.
We need you.
We need you.
We need you now more than ever.
The Southern Boone School District is hiring part-time bus drivers for route athletics and activities with no experience necessary. Our drivers enjoy flexible work hours, paid on-site CDL training, and paid time off, all while helping our community. The position offers competitive pay. Go visit sbschools.us/employment.
We need you.
It's time for Southern Boone County Eagles football on the Show Me Sports Network. This is Southern Boone County Eagles football on the exclusive home for the Eagles radio network, the Show Me Sports Network. Exclusive play-by-play coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football is brought to you by Avon with Michelle Carty, Boone County Journal, Centurion Cares, Eddie Goodell Society, Han Custom Laser Engraving, LLC, Last Sentinel Firearms, Retrieving Freedom, Sawdust Studios, Southern Boone Booster Club, and Zealous WBGT. The biggest and absolute best coverage in mid-Missouri is on the air as the Show Me Sports Network broadcast crew are ready in the broadcast booth for kickoff. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football on the Eagles Radio Network. Now let's go live to the field to the Show Me Sports Network broadcast booth.
And a very pleasant good evening, everyone. Blake Gasaway joined by Mike Freeze as the coin toss is just about ready to commence here at the stadium here at Boonville as the 2-1 Southern Boone County Eagles taking on the hosting 2-1 Boonville Pirates in a game that we talked about it in our pregame show. We talk a lot that there's a lot on the line, but tonight, nonetheless.
Going to be a great game tonight. Certainly interested in seeing two different things. Number one, how can our defensive line go up against their offensive line? It's not a big offensive line that they have, but it's a very efficient offensive line. They do have a couple studs on their offensive line, the brothers. If you remember, Tia Ellison, Mizzou, great from a few years back, also played in the NFL. They're down here, so they're really solid. The younger brother's a freshman, and he doesn't play like a freshman. He's pretty good size, but he moves pretty well for the most part. Again, tough offensive line. So can our defensive line make some things happen? And then secondly is hats to number 11. Can we get enough people to 11 to keep him from keeping no more than one big play? I certainly expect he'll get a big play. I'm expecting a fairly high scoring offensive game tonight. Both offenses are fairly explosive, and we'll see who has the most explosive of the offenses.
Well, he also handles the punting duties for them, and that means that at any given time when it's a fourth down, they're going to line up to punt, and they could actually decide to go ahead and go for it, as he's got wheels. Really, he is just a lean, mean football machine, well-rounded in every aspect of the game, it seems. And as we talked, he will be for sure one of the better players that we see all season long, as the Eagles will get the kickoff here, so they will receive.
Playing our hands team. Boonville doesn't have a fantastic kickoff team, kicker, so we're expecting some shenanigans.
Kicking it is Brenner Parker. It is a short kick, as Mange will take it just on the other side of the 50. So good job there of him just to put two hands on it, fall down with it. That's exactly what you want to do.
Yeah, onside kick, 10 yards down. Like I said, their kicker is not known to be very, very effective, so they do a lot of onside kicks.
Exactly why you practice that. The hands team coming through right there. As we're glad you're tuned into our broadcast here this evening on the Show Me Sports Network. Whether you're listening with the app or our media center, we're glad you're tuned in. As for Southern Boone, they'll break the huddle here with one back in the back, two receivers far side, one here to the near side. They'll send Taylor in motion now, being wing on the far side, as they'll fake the handoff, keeping himself as Evans. He's going to get plowed into behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose a couple yards.
Yeah, on that play there, we faked the running back to the left and then did more of a counter with the pulling left guard, Dylan Isles to the right. But this time, their defensive line did a great job of penetration. I believe number 73, he's the elder Ellison brother, got in there, and he's a lot smaller than his younger brother, but he's awful quick.
Well, the good thing is there that if he could have got the corner, I think that would have been a big play. But it'll bring up a second and long. Again, two receivers up top. They also have a wing up there. Now they'll direct some traffic with the running back. That's Bowles, as he will get the handoff. He's going to be met in the backfield. He's going to lose a yard himself. It'll bring up third and long.
Yeah, they play a very aggressive defense. Not only do they have really quick guys on the line, again, Ellison there made the tackle again, but they also blitz about 70% of the time, if not more. So there's always going to be someone coming from somewhere, so can our offensive line pick up where it's coming from, and they show it a lot too. That last play they showed it.
It'll be third and long now, as Evans will be in shotgun. Again, he primarily runs through that, as they'll send Ash in motion to the far side. They'll have receivers over there. Pressure coming. Nice job of Bowles to pick it up. Scrambling is Evans. He's going to have to tuck it himself. He'll be chipped up across the 45, so he does gain a couple of yards, but it's still going to bring up a 4th and 11.
Yeah, pressure from the right-hand side. 73 again. Ellison, three of the four plays he's made big effort. Caused them to scramble to the left and nothing open. And good job by the Boonville. Very quick on defense they are.
Bowles was able to pick up the rusher, but there was more than just one coming to the house. So he had to do what he could, but just, you needed two or three of them. As deep back to receive this punt will be Johns, as Taylor will have a sidewinding kick to the far side. It'll bounce at the 40. At the 35, still bouncing in favor of Southern Boone, as it'll trickle down inside the 15. Looks like it'll be down at about the 11-yard line, so great punt there.
Yeah, great directional punt away from the return man. Did a good job. Good job on the snap. The ball was low and hit the ground, so good job by the punter there to collect the ball, and nice kick and good roll.
Taking a look at the starters, we'll do the starting offense real quick for Southern Boone. Of course, Austin Evans, the 5'11", 160-pound junior quarterback. In the backfield will be senior Jacob Bowles. They'll have Chase Morris, the junior, Kellen Ash, the junior, Ben Taylor, the senior, and James Bassnett, the juniors, all as their wide receiving core. And then senior Aiden Boyce, Dylan Niles, the junior, Justin Post, the senior, Aiden Young, the sophomore, and Jonah Wall, the junior, on the starting line for Southern Boone. As we'll get the defense here in just a little bit, as Boonville will start on their own 11-yard line. They'll send Troost in motion here. The near side look to do a screen. Quarterback will keep it up himself. He'll be near first down. That's Colby Canton carrying it right there.
Yeah, they emptied the backfield there, and, of course, whenever you send Troost in motion, you have to keep an eye on him, and they kind of faked the screen to the right, and quarterback keeper called all the way. And not a big quarterback, but a tough son of a gun. He really carries his team very, very well. He's a tough runner, makes really good decisions. He's got the ability to break things on it with his feet, and he's also got a pretty good arm too. So we definitely got to watch both pass and run from this quarterback.
Colby Canton, 5'7", 765-pound senior, is a returner from last year as well. He'll have two receivers down here on the near side, one up top as they'll flip it off to Truce. He's trying to be patient. He'll be across the 20 before he's tackled there, right at about the first down marker, but I think he's got enough to send him, they'll say new set of downs.
Yeah, not much there that time. Good job by the defense. It's good to see Inslee back after he got hurt last weekend. Good job filling. Good job by Noah Rice to come down the line. He's definitely got his man outsized by about 100-plus pounds, so that will be a good battle to watch between him and the center. And if he can have a big game, that will certainly help matters for the Eagles defense.
So one receiver up top, three down here on the bottom. Again, they go left to right as Canton will be in shotgun. Look near side, quick pass off to Truce. Makes one man miss. He's got 5 yards, still pushing those legs forward. He'll fall forward near the 30, so he'll pick up almost 8 yards himself there.
Yeah, it's 6'1" and 185. He's a pretty good size back. He runs strong with the ball, and you can see they'd like to get him the ball pretty quickly so he has a chance to do something with the ball. So good quick pass to the screen out to the right that time.
He might have got shaken up a little bit on that play, though, as he comes out, takes off his helmet, and looked like he had a little bit of a grimace as he was coming off. So now we're going to have some wholesale substitutions. So that'll bring up a second and short. I think that's maybe what it is, as they're bringing in a new offensive package because he is out here for the moment. As they'll take the quarterback keeper straight up the middle. This pile still pushing. Looks like it'll be about a 2.5, 3 yard gain. It'll move the chains.
Yeah, that time they brought in a backup quarterback and they spread out, and they liked that quarterback to run the ball. So he just kept it one straight up, and good job by the offensive line getting some holes and got 3 yards for a first down.
That was Jackson John stepping in at quarterback. Looks like they bring in their starting offense once again with this new set of downs. As a bunch over on the far side, faking the pitch off, running this way. They'll get the pass off as Canton has it to his receiver. He's going to fight forward for about 11 yards. Catching that pass is Blake Griffin, so he moves the chains there.
Yeah, just like you draw up, you fake the play action to the left and roll your quarterback out to the right. The defensive end was unblocked and put some pressure on and dump it right over his head to their fullback or a sniffer back in that case. And nice looking play.
They had the pressure, but like you said, you got to commit. We've seen that work in favor of Southern Boone before, as ball will be on the turf and quarterback is just going to have to eat it as Colby Canton is taken down in the backfield. Taylor gets off the pile. Taylor Mange also in there. Was that Noah Rice as well?
Yeah, there's 3 of them in there. Fantastic pressure by the defensive line that time, and the linebacker. Low snap slowed everything down. They were pulling some linemen from the right to the left, and with that slow snap, that gave them the opportunity to kind of come through untouched, and nice big loss.
So this will bring up a second and long for Boonville. They'll send a receiver in motion, far side. Canton dropping back. There's some pressure. Jennings has it. They're going to flip it off, though. Got a little screen pass to the receiver. He's going to be taken down for a loss there. That is Cooper Pfeiffer, so he takes a big loss. That was Canton running for his life. Jennings there just about had another sack.
Yeah, fantastic pressure there. Coach Garris called Jennings on the blitz that time. If he wasn't there were 2 other Eagles that were all in his face. They dumped it off to the running back, and again, great pursuit by the linebackers to cause another 7-8 yard loss.
So to bring up a 3rd and 24 now for Boonville as they're going the wrong direction. They've got to get to the 46-yard line of Southern Boone, as Canton will roll here to the near side looking downfield. He's going to stop, get his receiver for a short gain. He'll be shoestring tackled as making that catch on the play is Ethan Watson, but nice shoestring tackle there to keep him well short of the original line of scrimmage even. That
and
was
even
Salter.
before that great tackle, great job of secondary, being all over the wide receivers. Plenty of time for the quarterback as he was rolling out to his right. And good job of the defense there covering everybody. And nice job. Nice defensive drive there.
So 4th and 16 here as Troost will be in shotgun formation. Morris is back to receive the punt. There's going to be kind of a side winding kick. He'll take it at about his 27, and he's going to be lit up right there. He bounces right back up, but he caught that, and immediately Ethan Watson, the senior, just lays into him and puts him down on that turf.
Yeah, they had Johnson that time as the punter. And nice kick. Good job fielding it by Morris, but excellent down the field coverage by the Boonville Pirates that time.
So each team having a possession, each team having a punt. That defense, again, looking pretty sharp there for Southern Boone. Being able to get the ball back. They'll start at their own 33-yard line, so they've got their work cut out for them here. Again, going right to left on your Show Me Sports Network app or Media Center. However you're listening, we're glad you're tuned in to catch the broadcast here tonight.
Yeah, Johns it's kind of like their Swiss Army knife. He does a little bit of everything. He can run the ball. He can catch it. He can punt. He basically is the jack of all trades.
He can deliver a big hit, too.
Yeah,
We've seen earlier.
Yeah, he can do a lot. So, but so far we have not seen Truce since he came off the field with his helmet off.
Yeah, I realized that after I said that there was too much other things going on that he wasn't out there to punt, and I don't see
He's not on the field right now. He's next to the coach. He's got his helmet off, but he's not being intended to by anybody.
Well, he came out kind of grimacing, really. Yeah. You could tell he was in a little bit of discomfort, whatever that was giving him discomfort. Had some discomfort, and he's not I think maybe he's only been out there for one play since then. So
basically we have a defensive battle going on when we thought we'd have an offensive shootout.
So shotgun again for Evans, 2 receivers up top. Well, we'll see if we get a free 5 yards. It sure looked like it from here that was a stone wall there, those white jerseys with the red numerals, the red pants, and that will be the call. Defense jumps into the neutral zone, so now it'll be 1st and 5 for Southern Boone there. Southern Boone, of course, said wearing their white jerseys. The blue jerseys with the white pants, the white numerals for Boonville. So 1st and 5 now as they'll give the handoff. Cutting through the middle, that is Bowles. He'll have about 4 yards there.
Yeah, that time pulled the right guard, right tackle to the left. A good job of kicking out the end and coming inside. Running back followed his inside. Looked like he had a little bit of a hole to the outside maybe. Hopefully the coaches can get that corrected that time. But that was a nice job of the offensive line. Did a good job of making a couple nice big blocks and holes.
So 1 receiver down low, 2 up top. It'll be 2nd and 1 as Bowles still in the backfield in the left hip pocket of Evans. They'll give it to him. He actually keep it himself, and a brick wall ran into, led by several Boonville players, one of those being Braylon Ellison, the freshman.
Yeah, that time there we left the right end unblocked. We tried to pull a tackle from right to left, but he could not get to the guy in time, and he blew the play up. So, again, this defense is very, very quick.
2 receivers, far side. We'll have a wing here on the near side as Evans trying to pick up the first down of the ball game for his squad. Now on the other side, that'll be Ash. They send him in motion, fake the handoff. He's dropping back, has some pressure. He's going to roll to the far side. Still has pressure. He's going to have to tuck it, trying to get the corner. He will do so. He'll step out of bounds as he picks up enough for the chain mover, and there's a flag for a late hit as he was out of bounds and was shoved down.
Great effort there by Evans. The quarterback got some pressure from our left side this time, and he ran around the older Ellison brother, and did a good job getting the first down, and certainly some lack of discipline by the Pirates there. It gives us an extra 15 yards, so nice play, everybody.
Here the student section for Southern Boone that's made its way here to the game and chanting, "You can't do that." Always can count on them to bring the excitement to the game as neither team scored. 4:28 and counting here as they wind the clock. As two receivers near side, we'll have a wing on the top. Again, there's going to be encroachment encroachment as the hard count Evans kind of changing it up and drawing the defense off there.
Doing a nice job changing up the snap count. That's something that a lot of young, inexperienced quarterbacks don't do, but he's done that a couple times this season already, so very, very important. That slows down the defense, especially just really quick. If you look at their defensive line, they're not very big, but they are quick.
You know, for him being a first-year starter, I've been just impressed, to say the least, with his ability to navigate the offense and to lead it. And so I have two receivers down low. They'll give the handoff. Straight up the middle is the ball carrier. We'll see. I believe that's Bowles with it. So he'll pick up maybe a half yard if he's lucky. That is Bowles.
Yeah, try to run some power up the middle, but their defensive tackle did a good job. Nose guard did a good job of shaking the blocking and making a great tackle. So good job by again, this defensive line is really, really quick.
Well, he did a good job, too, keeping two hands on that ball, as he has fumbled it this year. So doing a nice job trying to keep that. That was something they were working on quite a bit with him to make sure he has good ball security. So they're going to pass a little quick pass off here to Morris. He's not going to be able to shed the tackler, and he'll be taken down. He'll lose a yard as he was trying to get away, doing everything possible, but just could not get out of the grasp.
Just a quick pass to the left. Chase has done a great job this year being able to break that first tackle, but their quarterback, also a defensive back, did a good job. Again, this guy's tough as nails. He's a really, really good, tough son of a gun, the type of player that people love to play with.
So Logan Bishop has checked in now as Bowles checks out. You hear on this third down, it's 3rd and 7, clock rolling, 3:11 left here in this opening quarter. Crowd starting to get a little vocal, and student section also doing that as twins on either side. As Evans drops back, quick pass off over the head of his receiver. He was looking for Bishop, just overthrew him too much.
That was the perfect play call that time. They brought the house. They had at least 6 people coming. Good job. Good play call. Just a little tall for our young, short running back wide receiver.
He's listed at 5'7", and I think if he's about 5'9", I think he'd have been good to go on that. But just over his head, clock stopped. 2:59 here in this opening period. Both teams having an opening drive, both teams punting. So this is the second possession for Southern Boone, third of the game, as 5 on the play clock. And we're going to have a timeout called as Southern Boone's got to burn a timeout. As time was winding down, they did not get set. They were, I think, maybe going to do a pooch kick there. But either way, they'll take the timeout. We'll take a quick break and be back as you're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
Since 2018, Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC has been specializing in all things custom, using large format, high-powered lasers with some of the most advanced technologies on the market. Anything can become a canvas. The state-of-the-art system makes quick work of custom engraving on cups, glass, tile, wood, acrylic, metal, headstones with endless possibilities. They also offer custom one-of-a-kind signs that are sure to make your design stand out. Find them on Facebook at Han Custom Laser Engraving or call 573-489-8732 to find out more. Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC, a veteran-owned business.
Well, timeout called there by Southern Boone as clock stopped. 2:59 left in this first quarter, as they will have 5 wide receivers here, as Evans again trying to get them to draw off sides. 4th and 7. Ball on the 37-yard line. He will drop back. He'll just do a little pooch kick, as that's going to take a bounce and go into the end zone. Trying to save it was one of the gunners. Boy, I have to say, this season we've seen a whole lot of bounces in favor of Southern Boone. That one no different, but that one hurt him.
Not tonight, but not a bad kick. What happens in the pooch kick, the quarterback, like we've seen for the last couple of years, especially when we have a quarterback who can run with his legs. They have plenty of time in the play clock, so he looks over at the coaching staff. The coaching staff says whether or not to go for it or not. And that time he executed a pretty good pooch kick. It landed right where we wanted it to, but it did not stop.
And that's been, we've seen the Eagles benefit from some great bounces and continue on like that, but unfortunately in that case just took several too many. So that'll set up ball on the 20-yard line for Boonville as they're going to try a little screen pass. They'll dump it off to the far side with it as making the grab is Johns, and he is off to the races. Jackson Johns, the 6'3", 185-pound senior, takes it to the 44-yard line, so 24-yard gain there on just a little screen pass. Nothing fancy there.
Yeah, Boonville just spread you out that time. They faked the ball to the wide side of the field to the right. They fake it and throw it back to the back, and he's just got two good blockers in front of him and did a good job of breaking it. And again, Johns is a nice, solid player. He does a lot of things right.
So trips down low, one up top as Canton will get the shotgun snap. He'll give it off to Rhodes Leonard, the junior. He'll carry it. They'll say he got to the 45, so a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, good job on the defense at that time. Just a straight dive up the middle. Defensive line did a good job. Just like we were talking about earlier, they are a little bit bigger than the smaller offensive line for the Pirates and did a good job of plugging the holes.
Clock nearing 2 minutes to go here in this opening quarter, and either team has broken onto the scoreboard yet. Canton will roll to the near side. He tucks it under his arm now. He's looking to throw it now. He'll tuck it again as he's got the corner across the 50, the 40. There's a flag down. 30. He cuts inside across the 20. He'll be taken down at the 15. But there is some laundry on the field back at the 45-yard line. So we'll check to see what the call is.
Yeah, that time the Eagles only rushed 3, had 8 back in coverage, and that's what we saw that time is the quarterback made a good decision. He can run it, 8 people back covering 4 people. Everyone was well covered. He made a good decision. He's got some good speed there.
He's got some good wheels. You're right about that.
Good wheels, but like I said, looks like we had a holding call.
Yeah, holding call flag down at the 40.
Oh, on the defense, though.
Oh, so check that. So flag will be declined.
But that play there shows why that number 3 you could argue he's more important to the success of the offense than number 11 because he's able to do run and ball or run and throw the ball.
He can also catch it. He has 1 reception for 4 yards. And that was a touchdown.
Yeah, from number 11, if I recall.
Right.
Yeah,
they're a good 1-2 combo.
Yeah.
When I saw that on the stats, I laughed a little bit because normally you don't see your starting quarterback, catch a pass, let alone for a touchdown. But that's why they're out here. They have some good deceptive things put together that works. So they will have it now, 1st and 10, as ball will be spotted at the 16-yard line. Canton will be in shotgun. He'll have some receivers down low. He's going to keep it himself, take it straight up the gut on a dive, and he'll pick up a couple yards. They say maybe 3 on the play and bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, good job by Dylan Niles. He fired off the ball really quickly, got inside, forced the run inside, and Noah did a great job. Noah Rice did a good job inside, plugging that up. Again, he's got a good 100-plus pounds on his guy lining up across from him.
So they'll have trips down low. They'll position the back over there. That's Leonard as Canton will be in shotgun. Now they'll send Troost in motion. They'll give it. That's Johns rather on the end around. He's going to scamper in there, breaking tackles. He's going to be in for the 14-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, motion from the left from the wide receiver, running a jet sweep to Johns, and he did a good job. He was patient. He waited for the hole to open, and once the hole opened up, he attacked it hard. So, again, nice, solid player, fun to watch.
Yeah, so it goes as a 14-yard touchdown run by Johns. They will try the PAT. I believe, is that number 6 kicking it? That is Ross Brackman, the junior. Snap is down, kick is up, kick is blocked as the PAT is no good.
Great job by Chase Morris that got in there and blocked it.
Yep,
so
got
good
in there.
Job.
Just shot through the middle and is able to knock it down. We're going to take a quick break as Boonville scores first. They lead 6-0. Take a quick break and be back. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
Creating custom, handcrafted woodworking projects has never been easier. Become a member of Sawdust Studios and enjoy 24/7 access to a woodworker's paradise. Outfit with industry-leading professional-grade tools, Sawdust Studios offers endless woodworking possibilities. Don't have woodworking experience? No problem, as Sawdust Studios offers affordable classes from a community of woodworkers, experienced designers, and master craftsmen. Youth classes are also offered for those junior woodworkers. For more information, search Sawdust Studios on Facebook or find them online at sawduststudios.com. Sawdust247.com. Sawdust Studios, your community woodshop.
Well, Southern Boone trails by a score of 6-0. As they will get the kickoff here, but trail. PAT was missed. They will have it teed up to the Pirates, and another short kick, as that's going to take a bounce, and it will be down by Evans. That one was real close to maybe going out of bounds, but that ball is odd-shaped, does funny things.
Yeah, you made the right decision there. You never know what's going to happen with that ball. It could easily bounce in, and it's a live ball. So he made a good decision. He got it, and did a good job of getting down as well, too. Again, just a 15-yard or so, 20-yard kick. This is what we expect him to get all day. So as long as we make good decisions and take care of the ball, we should have good field position every time after a kickoff.
So Southern Boone will start at the 39-yard line as they'll pitch it off to the far side. That's Bishop. Nice job to pick up 5 or 6 yards there from a player that we haven't seen a whole lot of.
Yeah, that looked like more of an option sweep that time, and Evans did a good job of holding on to the ball to the end until someone committed and pitched it right at the right time, and good, tough, hard run.
We said carrying the ball there, Logan Bishop. He is a 5'7", 150-pound sophomore. So nice job of him. He still stays out there as Evans will be in shotgun. 3 receivers here on the near side, 1 on the far side. They'll realign Bishop. Almost the same play. He'll keep it himself, does Evans. He'll be taken down near midfield, close to that first down marker. Looks like from here he's on it. They'll say that's a new set of downs.
Yeah, good job by the quarterback. He saw we had our right side pulled to the left and did a good job picking a block, and he hit the hole hard right up the middle. So good job by Justin Post and Dylan Niles there to get the hole needed.
Clock continuing to roll here, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter. After 1 quarter of play, it is Boonville 6, Southern Boone nothing. We'll take a quick break and be back as you're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
Last Sentinel Firearms is your federally licensed and registered Type 7 FFL manufacturer dealer in Missouri, providing quality products to all types of sports enthusiasts, law enforcement, and individuals across the nation. Orders are currently being fulfilled, offering custom-built pistols and rifles from the AR platform made right here in Missouri. Visit their website at lastsentinelfirearms.com or call them at 417-684-7202 to find out what they've got for you. Last Sentinel Firearms, you are your last line of defense.
Attention Eagles fans, here's your chance to help the student athletes of Southern Boone County by becoming a member of the Southern Boone Booster Club. Your gifts help provide all Southern Boone County athletes with a safe and positive experience while attending our school district, and also help purchase items that our sports team couldn't otherwise afford. You can join the Southern Boone Booster Club this season for as little as $25. Membership is open to everyone. Interested in joining? Look them up on Facebook by searching Southern Boone Booster Club or email them at sbcathleticboosters@gmail.com. Let's go Eagles!
Well, we'll switch into the field here as Southern Boone has a new set of downs. Ball spotted on the 50-yard line. Morris will go in motion to the far side. They'll give it off to Bowles. Cuts back inside. He's got 5 yards before he's tripped up there. They'll give him 6.
Nice good running play by Bowles that time. We pulled right tackle, right guard from right to left. They did a great job of getting a good push on their blockers. And Bowles did a fantastic job of hitting that hole hard, kept both hands on the ball, and did a really good job of getting a good 6-yard gain.
Yeah, cut inside and definitely helped out his own cause there, as it'll bring up a 2nd and 4 now. Clock rolling, 11:28 left here in this first half. As they'll give it back to Bowles again, straight up the middle. He's got second wave through, and he'll pick up just across the 40. Should move the chains again. They say that is a chain mover.
Yeah, second play in a row. Noah Wall pulled from his right guard spot. Did a great job. Got the hold nice and quick. Got a good block and nice, good hard run again. So good job by the offensive line.
So again, new set of downs here for Southern Boone. So I'll have 2 receivers here on the near side. They'll have a wing up top. As they'll split off Bowles, he'll go here to the near side. Evans throws it off to him. He's got it across the 40, makes one man miss across the 30, trying to drag the play out and does so. He'll pick up about 13, 14 yards. Well, that was a good-looking play right there.
Yeah, really good play that time. Bowles went in motion from his running back spot, leave an empty backfield. Nice quick throw to him, and he did a great job of busting through a Pirate sandwich and did a good job there.
Again, carrying that ball, putting a couple of hands on it. Seems that's something that they put quite a bit of emphasis on.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he's a little more emphasis on both hands of the ball.
So he'll be moved in the left hip pocket of Evans. He'll fake the handoff. He'll keep it himself. Does Evans. He's going to be tripped up down near the 20. Boy, if he didn't get tripped up there, I think he would have been close to a first down.
Yeah, the same play we ran earlier. Pull Jonah Wall from the right to the left. He did a good job getting into the ball or to the hole quickly. Good job by the offensive line. We're seeing some different offensive linemen this week that are playing very well. Looks like Young's taking the night off of the offensive line. We got 79. Owen Folk has been really good at the right tackle, and that's allowed Jonah Wall to come in to give Mr. Young a little break so he can be fresher on defense.
They'll hand it off to Bowles again. He starts outside, cuts it back in. Short yardage there. He will be close down to the chains, but he will not have enough. It will bring up a third down here.
Yeah, the theme of this drive is let's pull Jonah Wall from right to the left. I think that's happened on every single play, and he's done a really good job of getting to the hole and getting to the linebacker, and that's one of the hardest things to do for a pulling guard.
He has definitely showed some speed there and some agility, like you said. He has had a busy night so far, and I look for him to have a busy night as it continues. But it'll bring up a 3rd and 2, clock under 9.5 to go here before halftime. As we'll have split backs. Now they put them more in a traditional format. As they'll give it off straight the middle is Bowles, and they'll say he's going to be awful close.
They're marking short. There's hard-nosed football there. Basically have a wing back and a sniffer back right behind the tackle, and this power football right off the left-hand side, and did not get enough that time. Good job by the Boonville defensive line, including number 55, did a really good job of stuffing the hole.
That is Gage Hodges, a junior, so it'll bring up a 4th and less than 1 here. Clock at 8:40 and counting. Boonville leading 6-0. As they'll try the fullback house again.
Look who's in at fullback. It's sniffer back there. 330 pounds of him.
That's right. They give it off, working the far side, breaking through the tackle, getting the first down. Nice job of moving the chains there, carrying that is Bowles.
Something we haven't seen this year. Noah Rice, our defensive lineman,
6'1",
sophomore, 330 pounds, was lined up as a wingback, fullback, sniffer back, when they call it, and he pancaked his guy to the outside. Bowles did a fantastic job hitting the hole hard, right where the hole is, so I like that play.
Yeah, they might have to go back to that a few more times. So it'll bring up a new set of downs here, ball on the 14-yard line, as Bowles will be in the backfield. They'll do a double, trying to do
that reverse.
Trying to do a reverse, and that just blew up in the backfield.
Yeah.
I thought the ball was on the turf, but it was not. I believe that was Ash that it was handed to. He loses yards, but he kept the football.
So far what we've seen by the defense of Boonville is they're quick and aggressive, but they're not over-aggressive. And it takes a little time for that reverse to set up that time, and that time offensive line did not hold their blocks long enough to get the back across the line of scrimmage.
So they'll load up receivers down here on the bottom side. They'll fake the handoff to Bowles, rolling to the near side is Evans. He'll stop, look for the corner, throw it up for Morris. It's going to be off everybody's hands. Double team coverage over there, and it's knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, did a good job rolling to the right. Had plenty of time, got his feet set, had him open for a moment, but double coverage by the Boonville. They did a really fine job. Boonville's one of the rare teams that we'll see this week that will play a safety back. We don't see a lot of cover one, what we normally would see. We see when we spread things out, everyone's lined up man-on-man without a safety, but they do run a lot of safeties.
That was a really good thrown ball, though, I will admit. That was about
good
as good
ball where it needed to be, but great defensive coverage.
So spread it out, 5 wide receivers, as Evans is going to have to tuck it himself, cut upside. Now the ball's going to be on the turf, and we'll see who recovers it, as I think Boonville might have got it.
That's the rare time Boonville did not blitz anybody, just rushed 4. Offensive line did a good job of keeping their blocks, maintaining their blocks. Evans did the right decision in running it. Got to watch out from the defense from behind.
Yeah, somebody poked it out. He was separated from that football, but the Eagles did recover it. So it'll bring up a 4th down here. So I'll bring up 4th and long. It's 4th and 17 at the 21-yard line. 6.5 minutes to go here in this first half. Again, Boonville leading by a score of 6-0. Despite coughing up that ball, I agree that was the right decision by Evans, as they'll have 5 wide receivers. They'll send one in motion. They fake the handoff to Bishop. Rolling near side is Evans. He's looking for the corner. Has his receiver caught it. Touchdown!
What a beautiful, beautiful play by the quarterback. Great offensive line play. Boonville, again, did not blitz it, but they played more prevent, it looked like to me. They only sent 4. Our 5 offensive linemen did a fantastic job blocking those. Evans kind of felt the play was going to the right, so he went to the right. Again, left-handed. He did a good job at getting his shoulders turned, feet planted, and threw a beautiful strike to a wide-open wide receiver.
Yeah, that was Mr. Morris, rather. For Evans to Morris, as coming on to try the PAT is Salter. Snap is high but places down. Kick is up, and kick is good. And Southern Boone takes the lead at a score of 7-6. We'll take a quick break and be back as you're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
Running out of some of your favorite Avon products and haven't seen an Avon brochure in quite some time? No need to worry. Avon Independent Sales Representative Michelle Carty can help with your Skin So Soft makeup, jewelry, fragrance, and skincare needs. Avon now carries cleaning supplies, clothing, daily essentials, and several small LG electronic items. You now have the opportunity to shop online 24/7 and have your order shipped directly to your front door by shopping with Michelle at mcarty.avonrepresentative.com or find her on Facebook by searching Avon Carty.
Well, the Eagles have their first lead of the game. That comes by way of a 22-yard touchdown pass.
Nice job by the offense to come back. Great job by the offensive line the entire drive. It was a good 60-yard drive. They did a good job blocking, good job pulling, good job knowing their assignments. And Evans made, again, a really good decision when to roll. Did a good job of getting his feet set and getting his shoulders turned because, again, he's a left-handed quarterback moving to the right. That's a very challenging throw to make, and he made a beautiful throw to the back corner of the end zone to a wide-open Chase Morris.
Well, that, too, as you said, wide open, but he had to tightrope, make sure he got those feet down in bounds, and does so. And Salter puts the PAT through. That caps a 13-play, 61-yard drive. So that comes with 6:13 left to go in this first half, puts Southern Boone ahead by a score of 7-6. As Salter will tee it up here. Southern Boone, first time they've had a lead here tonight. As he will approach the ball. There's going to be a little pooch kick and whistles and a flag. So
yeah, offsides. Michaela Manuel, first time he's been able to play this year. He's been hurt, and he's just a little bit excited to get out there. He's a good hitter. He was a good foot or so over the line. So got to calm down that eagerness, though. But he's a fantastic player to have back. He's new to the school this year. He's a great tackler. He hits the ball pretty well, and he also has a good chance to be a good running back for us as well.
That's one of those two that I'll take that penalty. No, I'm not going to lose too much sleep over that. Like you said, he's just excited to be out there. First time that he's got to play this season, so excited to be out on the field. And, we like to see that. We like to see that aggressiveness. So Salter will tee it up again. Another little squib kick. It's going to be off one of the upmen, still on the turf, and it'll be covered up at the 40. And a little shoving and pushing after the play there. Both sides guilty of that.
Yeah, both sides. Good job by, who's 21? Who is that? Should know that. Travers, the sophomore did a good job of getting his other player to calm down, and that easily could have been a penalty for us. But again, that ball bounces so odd. It bounced up off the ground. It hit his face mask and could have been anyone's ball there. But
most importantly, we held the return to very, very little there. Give up a few yards on the place, but that's okay. You pretty much take out any chance of a return game, as Boonville will set up shop at their own 40-yard line. Canton will be in shotgun. He'll have 4 wide receivers, 1 up top, 3 down low. He'll keep it himself on the end around as he's making guys miss. He's across the 45 before he's up into there. Taylor in on the tackle. Also McKee in there to bring him down.
Yeah, we're in our 3-4 defense. It's been our basic defense for the last couple weeks. In that time, we blitz from the left side, Jennings from the left side, and they called the play opposite. So good, unfortunate play call by the Pirates for the Eagles, and good tough run again. The quarterback, he's fun to watch when he runs with the ball. He runs tough and strong.
So 2nd and 4 now as they'll give a shotgun snap. He'll roll to the near side. He's looking to throw. Got the throw off. Wide receiver Johns is open. He's going to be at the 20, the 10, streaking towards the corner. They will say he is in there for the touchdown. It goes as a 54-yard touchdown pass.
Great play call by the Boonville head coach there. Yeah, they've ran the quarterback a couple times very successfully. So this time he really sold it really quick, ran about 3-4 yards up, then stopped, threw it to a wide open Johns, who had a good 5 yards on the defense, and he had to wait on the ball a little bit, but good job, good concentration by Johns, and did a good job again to the end zone.
So a 2-play, 60-yard drive capped off by a 54-yard touchdown. Looks like they are going to go for 2 here, at least trying to draw the defense off sides. Is Caton. So now they will get set. He'll keep it himself, trying to work the near side. He's going to be hog-tied and thrown down. Nowhere for him to go with it. 2-point conversion fails as getting him around the waist, throwing him back. That was Inslee, the freshman.
Fantastic job. He was unblocked. He held tight. They unblock you, hoping that you're going to bite hard to the inside, and he kept his spot. He did a great job of staying where he needed to be and did a fantastic tackle. Picked him up and slammed it to the ground.
Yeah, football doesn't work out for him. I think that he ought to look into maybe being a steer wrestler, because he grabbed on and did not let go. So the 2-point conversion fails. So the lead does go back to the Pirates.
Yeah, and we still haven't seen Trost yet. He's still got his helmet off. He has not been on the field since he came off. Boonville still being able to play very, very well. Just shows you that they have more than just him. So, but we always like to watch the best play. So I'm hoping that he's able to come back and play. I always like to enjoy watching our really good, talented Mid-Missouri high school talent.
Yeah, he's moving around down there. Looks like he's moving okay. So not sure what the issue is, and we don't want to speculate on anything. But like I said, when he came out, he was definitely in some discomfort, to say the least, and he has not made his way back, as you were saying, onto the field yet. So Boonville again will tee it up. They lead 12-7. Another short kick, as that's going to be taken by Jennings, as he will fall on it. Good job there. Got through the first wave of Southern Boone, so doing a nice job of just falling on it right there.
Yeah, the last 2 kickoffs, they've tried to get it more downfield. The first one, they tried a pure onside kick, just 10 yards downfield. Good job. The coaches have obviously stressed, cover the ball, get on the ground. We don't care. We'll take the ball at that 40-yard line, 35-yard line. We want to make sure we maintain possession. So good coaching. Players are responding well. They're getting the ball and getting down to the ground.
So it'll be ball on the 37-yard line for Southern Boone, as Evans will be in shotgun. He'll move Bowles to his right hip pocket, and he'll give it off to him, trying to work the far side. Still pushing the pile, as he's going to pick up about 6 yards there. Not bad on the first down.
Some textbook offensive line blocking that time. Dylan Niles from his left guard position pulled quick out and kicked out the defensive end. That allows the left tackle to go downfield. And Aiden Boyce did a fantastic job of getting downfield and getting to a linebacker. So nice, good, solid, textbook offensive line play there.
Bowles coming in the game averaging 4.6 yards a carry. I think he's bumping his average up, as now it'll be empty backfield as they'll throw a little swing pass over to him. He's going to be across the 50, hurdles forward. He'll pick up about 7 and more yards there as he falls forward. He'll move the chains.
Yeah, just take the Bulls in motion to the right, and that time they pulled the right side to the left to kind of get the linebackers a little misdirection there. And nice, good, quick, easy pass, and good job catching the ball and getting upfield. So nice design play.
Yeah, nothing fancy about it, but it's effective. Sometimes that's all that it takes. As Bishop will check back into the ball game, as they'll have 4 wide receivers. Now they'll run the play the other direction as Bishop will get it. Gets the corner. He's got 5 yards across the 40. Working the sideline down the 30 before he's shoved out of bounds. He'll pick up close to 20 yards himself.
You're exactly right. Same play to left with a different running back. So he's certainly a little quicker once he gets the ball. And that time, a good pass, a little bit lower. So Evans did a good job of understanding which wide receiver he was throwing the ball to that time.
The ball will be spotted on the 28-yard line. Again, nice job to catch that turn upfield. He got the corner. Been very impressed with Bishop here. He's had several carries this season, but looking well tonight. As we have whistles, Boonville has to call a timeout. They had 11 on the field, so not sure why they called a timeout. But we'll take a quick break and be back. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
The following public service announcement is brought to you by the Eddie Gaedel Society, Jefferson City Chapter 10, doing little things to make a big difference.
Want to make a big difference in your community? Be kind to others, drive safely, and put litter in its proper place.
Join us in celebrating Eddie Gaedel's historic Major League appearance as a member of the St. Louis Browns by doing something nice for someone today.
Take a walk, Eddie!
Well, a timeout called there by the Pirates as they had enough guys on the field, but I guess they didn't like what Southern Boone was drawing up there.
Probably a good timeout by Boonville. They want to make sure they can try to slow down the Eagles here. The Eagles are having a good drive, good blocking by the linemen, great passing by Evans, good job by the receivers. The running backs taking care of the ball, so probably not a bad call to kind of try to slow things down and regroup.
4:13 on the clock here left in this first half. Again, the Pirates lead by a score of 12-7 as they'll give it to Bowles, actually keeping it as Evans makes one man miss, trying to get the corner. He will be sandwiched there after he gains a couple.
Pretty fortunate to get what we gained that time. That time the Pirates showed their quickness, did a good job getting pressure, slowing down everybody. Looked like we were trying to do more of a handoff that time, but it is blown up pretty quickly. He didn't have any room to hand the ball off.
So to bring up a 2nd and 8, clock under 3:50 to go. Again, a 12-7 score in favor of the Pirates. As they'll break the huddle here with twin receivers on either side. Bowles will be in the backfield, about 2 yards behind Evans, who's in shotgun now. He'll put him in his right hip pocket. He'll roll to the near side. They'll pitch it off to him. He's across the 30. He's going to be taken down at the 25. So he'll only get a gain of 3 yards.
Yeah, quick pitch to the right that time. Dylan Isles pulled from left to the right to hook. He did a fantastic job hooking the end. That just left Bowles one-on-one with the undersized linebacker, and the Pirates linebacker did a fantastic job of wrapping him up and bringing him to the ground.
So we'll bring up a 3rd down now. It'll be 3rd and 6, clock under 3 minutes to go. They'll have receivers up top, one down low, twins up top as they'll fake the handoff or give it to Bowles rather. Oh. He'll be taken down just across the 25. So really, they say gained a yard on the play.
Yeah, the Pirates defensive line is really stepping up the last couple plays. They're doing a really good job of getting good penetration. At that time, we attempted to pull Dylan from his left guard out to the left to get the in and pulled the right side guard, Jonah Wall actually from right to left, but good job by the Boonville defense. They just got in there and slowed things down.
So to bring up 4th and 6, ball at the 24-yard line. Twin receivers either way. Evans will get the shotgun snap. He's looking far side. He's going to throw it over there. Has his receiver at the sticks. And they'll say that is going to be a 1st down as that was Morris. He knew the assignment there.
Yeah, beautiful play called. Boonville only rushed 4. Keep in mind, they blitz about 79-80% of the time. That time they only sent 4. Great job of the offensive line. Did a good job giving Evans plenty of time to do a standard drop back pocket, and he did a fantastic job of throwing a strike right to the receiver. So great job.
So ball will be spotted at the 16-yard line. Evans will get the snap, dropping back. Now he's going to step up in the pocket. He'll tuck it and roll here to the near side. He's across the 15. He's at the 10. Angling. He'll slide out of bounds with a little shove. Little help getting out, and he'll be down near the 5.
Yeah, again, Boonville only rushed forward. Good job by the offensive line to keep in their lanes, and great job, Evans, to step up into the pocket, realizing he had some space to run. Did a good job, and we can see what he can do with his feet. And he made the first tackler miss, and nice gain.
Well, he slides out at the 5-yard line. Clock stopped. 1:44 left here in this first half. Again, a 12-7 Boonville score. As one receiver up top, one down low. As they'll give it to Bowles, he's going to be cut down. He'll lose yardage there.
Yeah, that time they stopped. Only sending 4, they sent 6, and did a good job of getting penetration. The older Ellison did a good job getting in there to make a tackle. Now, if you notice, we have not called his name for a while, and that's because the offensive line has been doing a very good job on him and the rest of the defensive line.
So clock continuing to roll. I think they're going to have him reset it as the Boonville coaching staff looking angrily up here at the press box.
They might be looking at you. I don't know.
My voice might travel that far. I don't know, but yeah. I think they're having them reset the clock here. It says 1:36.
Well, a good chess match we have going on right now with the coaches. We'll see what the Coach Ross has dialed up this time. Full backfield, 2 tight ends.
So they say it should be 1:30 on the clock. So a minute and a half.
1 tight end.
They are going to bring the full back house again. They've got a running back on either side of Evans. Now they'll split one up on the far side. As he'll keep it himself across the 5. He'll be tripped up there. Maybe he'll get to the 4 3/4 yard mark.
Yeah, it's the same kind of formation we ran earlier on the goal line. You start out with the wing already, and you take one of your split backs. That time Jennings moved up to more of a sniffer back and fake Bowles up, and then quarterback keeps it straight ahead. And good job by the defensive line and linebackers plugging that hole.
Yeah, they're just trying to kind of overload that side there, just a numbers game, trying to get an overmatch again. They'll have split backs, one on either side of Evans. Now they'll change the play. Now they really overload the far side. Evans will keep it himself. He's going to make one man miss, trying to get to the corner. Will not make that guy miss. He's going to lose yardage as he's going to be back near the 10-yard line. Slow to get up. The guy he made miss was Ethan Watson. He's a little slow to get up, though.
Well, anyway, what we had there was, again, same overloading, like you call it, same overloading, and try to get this power of the quarterback. But that time, again, defensive line did a good job coming up, and their quarterback from the defensive back did a good job of wrapping up and getting the tackle down to the ground. So, hell of a player.
Boonville is going to call a timeout here as clock stopped with 10 seconds left to go here in this first half. As ball spotted at the 9-yard line. Well, kind of looking at my watch, surprise here. Versailles 6, Hallsville 2.
Whoa.
A little bit of a shock there.
Nice. Good job, Tigers of Versailles. Yeah. Anyway.
That comes from Max Prep, so I haven't verified it yet,
exactly,
but they're usually pretty accurate.
So here we go, 4th and goal from the 9.
What do you draw up here?
I did see Salter in there, but he didn't look like he was going to kick it, though.
Yeah, I think they were going for it.
They were going for it, but Salter. So who knows what they're going to run here? I don't know what the heck to go here. I think the pass be my desire. Maybe, to the wide side of the field, roll them out to get away from there. Because I definitely think they're going to send at least 5 and not 6. Because when they've only sent 4, they have not had very good luck in stopping it. So I expect them to blitz. So now the chess match is, what does Coach Ross call on the other side?
Well, this is why I couldn't be a coach, because I would call the same play every time. I do a fade route to the back pylon.
You do like that play.
I love that play. It's been effective.
I think it's going to roll out to the right, the same play. It's worked well for us a couple times this year, including the going for 2. So I'm looking for something rolled out to the right to get away from some pass rush. We'll see if Mr. Ellison here on the left-hand side, their left-hand side, can keep contained.
They'll send the wing in motion as Evans dropping back, looking near side. He's going to take it himself. He's looking. He'll throw it. Have a touchdown as he hits Taylor for the 9-yard touchdown pass.
Not quite how he drew it, but pretty doggone close. I'm going to take credit for that. So anyway,
I'll give you credit.
He dropped back. That's where I was wrong. He dropped back, did a good job, just like previously. Line did a good job of keeping the lanes. He did a good job stepping up, rolling out to the right, and it kind of reminds me of that play we saw Mahomes do last night where he was scrambling to the right, last minute through, dumped it off to wide receiver right in front of him, and good job all the way around. So good job offensive line, good play call by the coaches, good blocking by the offensive line, good sure-handed, good throw, good job getting his feet set. He probably could have ran it as well, but what we had seen this year is he'll give the ball up. He's a good point guard like that.
So Taylor gets a touchdown here. It's a 9-yard touchdown play. Looks like
delay.
Yeah.
Oh, timeout.
I got a timeout.
Before the delay, the clock was down to 0.
So there's 2 seconds left on the game clock. We'll just keep it right here. As that touchdown goes as a 12-play, 63-yard drive. That comes with 2 seconds left before halftime.
Trying to get to a 3-point lead against a team that's not known to have a very good place kicker. Interesting call by Coach Ross.
We saw it last week. He's got some guts in him to go for 2s, and I think he's, dialing it up again. And we talked about it.
No harm, really,
right,
to be honest with you.
Right.
No harm.
And that's what makes football so beautiful is it is a chess match, and it's outthinking your opponent. And while every other situation, I would say we should probably not go for 2 because we know Salter is almost automatic. He's got the leg. He can do it. Just like you said, Boonville does not have a kicker, and if you can punch in 2 more here, they already had the 1 PAT blocked, and then they didn't get the 2-point conversion. So if you can have a chance to punch in 2 and spread that lead out a little bit, again, chess match-wise, it makes for an interesting thing. So I think they are going to go for it here, and I love the decision here as they'll have twin receivers up right now. They'll send 2 more over there, so they're going to load up on the far side. Evans will get the snap. There were people running every which way with no ball in action.
I think we're going to kick this one down because there's illegal formation false start. Could have been a legal formation, too. We had our right tackle was uncovered. But that happened a couple times last week, so I'm not sure.
Yeah,
that's why I need to spend $10 to get that rule book.
Now they are going to come on to try the PAT. It's a little bit of a longer PAT. You know what, though? Again, I like the thinking. I like the decision. Still 2 seconds left on the clock. Just some mental mistakes, something they can work on cleaning up.
The trickery of the formation, we probably don't run that formation too often in practice, and so
Salter will come on to try the PAT. Snap is down, kick is up, and it just gets across. Boy, he got a little too much hook on that.
I was wondering if you had jinxed them or not there, but no, nice kick, good job. Got the 2-point lead with, 2 seconds?
Yep, 2 seconds left on the clock here.
Got a pooch kick, squib kick coming up. Keep the ball on the ground. Keep it away from their return men.
So they cap off a 63-yard drive, score with just 2 seconds left in the first half of action.
But just like we expected, a low-scoring defensive battle. So good job by the defenses. Are doing a pretty good job at keeping the other team in check. Please don't fact check me on that.
That PAT makes it a 14-12 score in favor of Southern Boone. As we said, just 2 seconds left on the clock here, as we will most likely see, just because we haven't seen it, we've seen it all game long. Going to see probably a short, squiggly kick.
Definitely with 2 seconds left. No need to do anything crazy.
But I think the story of the first half is Mr. Truce still down on the sidelines, has the helmet in hand, but he has not returned from early in the first quarter when he left the game. There's going to be a pooch kick. It's going to bounce at the 27, and the return man will have to take it at the 21. He'll be piled on there. That's almost, though, something they're going to have to look at. Hope for Southern Boone they watch that and say, hey, no reason to barrel into the guy.
Right,
you can just touch him and say, okay, you're down.
Perfect kick, very effective, about 3 to 5 yards from the sideline, so the wide receiver, the return man, has to commit to taking the ball. And unlike our team, who've been instructed to cover the ball and get to the ground, he tried to do something with it, which you don't blame him. Last play of the half. So good job, good kick. And good first half for the Eagles. Good job by the offensive line. Did a good job of of controlling the defensive line for the most part. So we'll see what they have in store for the second half.
So that takes us here to our halftime break as Southern Boone leads by a score of 14-12 as they've got 20 minutes on the clock. So we'll have a little bit of an extended halftime here as they, if you've never been to the football field here, it's a great field, it's a great venue to play at, but there's a whole lot of stairs and quite a little bit of a distance that the players have to make their way to the locker room. So in the pregame warm-up and conversations, the officials said they would not start the clock until Southern Boone made it all the way to the top of the stairs and were headed into the locker room, of course, giving them the opportunity to have as much of that 20-minute clock as possible, which both teams, I know, greatly appreciate that, letting them have the time they need here at halftime to talk and make some adjustments as the band also getting ready to come out and entertain us here at halftime. As we said, Southern Boone leading by a score of 14-12. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back. And we'll have our halftime show as you're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
In today's world, injury prevention is at the top of everyone's list. However, heat-related occurrences get routinely overlooked. Zealous WBGT puts that front and center. By using cutting-edge formulas and technology, Zealous WBGT streamlines and simplifies obtaining and documenting wet bulb globe temperature readings. With a simple touch of a button, you can check WBGT anywhere in the world, receiving alerts when the WBGT goes over the threshold you select. Join the stress-free way to protect student-athletes, employees, and overall operations from extreme heat by downloading the free Zealous WBGT app today. Save time, save money, save lives with Zealous WBGT.
At the Boone County Journal, we're with you all the way. We know that you're more than just a subscriber. You're an employer, you're a parent, you're a neighbor. Most importantly, you're a community member. It's our goal to provide you with the latest news, sports, opinions, obituaries, classifieds, and more to keep you informed about your community. To find out more about the Boone County Journal or to subscribe, call 573-657-2334 or visit bocojoe.com. The Boone County Journal. We're with you all the way.
Hello, Blake Gazaway here with the Show Me Sports Network. I've had the opportunity to have some amazing calls, including overtime touchdowns, walk-off home runs, and buzzer-beating baskets. But I've answered another call. That's to serve my community as a volunteer firefighter. Stop and think what would happen if your home or property caught fire and no one was there to put it out. Every day, volunteer firefighters not only save lives and property, but also respond to other emergencies. Nearly 2/3 of our nation's fire departments are manned by volunteer firefighters. And because of this, we simply need more volunteers to step up and answer the call. Stop by or contact your local fire department and see how you can become a volunteer firefighter today. I answered the call to serve my community. Will you?
Well, the band performing here at halftime is a 2-point lead in favor of Southern Boone as they lead by a score of 14-12. Mike's working hard on getting some of the other scores from area games. As there's some surprising scores, to say the least. As maybe a few surprised by our game. I actually am surprised by the score from the standpoint of I thought it'd be a little higher. Thought it'd be more in the 20s range, but that's why we get out here and we play, to actually see how it's going to happen. As taking a look at your first half scoring summary, well, there wasn't a lot of scoring, but it was relatively even across the board as Boonville got on the board first on a 14-yard touchdown run by Jackson Johns, the senior. The PAT was no good. That was a 5-play, 80-yard drive. That came with 50 seconds left in the first quarter. That gave Boonville a 6-0 lead. Then Southern Boone would answer about halfway through the second quarter on a 22-yard pass from Evans to Morris. Salter with the PAT, that was good. That was a 13-play, 61-yard drive. That came with 6:13 left to go in the first half. That put Southern Boone ahead by a score of 7-6. Then Boonville would score, this time on a 54-yard touchdown pass from Caton to Johns. The two-point conversion was no good. That was a 2-play, 60-yard drive. That came with 5:27 left to go in the first half of play. And that made it a 13-12 score in favor of, a 12-7 score rather in favor of Boonville. Then Southern Boone would score right before halftime on a 9-yard touchdown pass from Evans to Morris. They tried the 2-point conversion, but they had an illegal procedure offsides call, so they had to go back and just do the old-fashioned PAT. Salter was good on that, as that made it a 14-12 score. That was with just 2 seconds left to go in the first half. That was a 12-play, 63-yard drive. All Southern Boone had to do then was kick off. They did a squib kick, and then we went to halftime here by that 14-12 score. As both teams, something interesting too is 3 possessions to start the game were punt, 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 and then it was the score for first score for Boonville, and then Southern Boone had it. They ended the quarter, so they flipped into the field, but then basically the 4 possessions, the 4 touchdowns came back to back to back to back in 4 possessions, one starting over in the first quarter and then transitioning to take us into that second quarter. But both teams needed a little bit of opportunity to get their offenses going, and their defense is putting on a good show. But like I said, the last 4 possessions, we have had touchdowns, 2 for each team. But right now, where the big dividing line is special teams, and that's the difference here in our ball game so far. That 2 points coming on the way of the kicker's foot.
Yeah, the defensive coaches had the chest proudly sticking out in the first quarter. Second quarter, the offense finally found what they could do. So on both teams. So good job by both teams in trying to figure out what the other team is going to give them on offense and finding what works for them. Good job by Boonville as well. Doing a good job of overcoming the loss of their special player in Troost. So we'll look forward to see if he comes back in the second half at all.
Yeah, he went out. It was pretty early in that first quarter of play, if I remember right. Within that first or second drive that they had, he has not returned. So not sure what's going on with him. We're not going to speculate it, but they show just kind of how dynamic their team is because their star player, and we talked about it in the pregame, easily probably the best player we'll see this season, and they really haven't missed much of a beat without him out there. I mean, certainly they've lost maybe a step or two, and they've lost some athleticism, but overall, I mean, they still were able to take those 2 drives and score and match what Southern Boone did both times.
Well, they have an excellent quarterback who also is special because he's tough as nails. He's a good, tough runner. He makes good decisions. He's got quick feet, and he could run it and throw it both. And that touchdown they scored for their second touchdown was caused by the threat of his feet after they ran the ball well with him 2 or 3 times in a row. So they're not lacking talent at all. And we saw Jones is more than able to. He may not be able to break the big plays, but he's more than capable of catching the ball and making some good runs as well. So we haven't seen the Wildcat at all tonight since Truce got hurt. Well, we probably won't see that in the second half if he doesn't play. But again, for them, they're very solid. They got a solid offensive line. They got a solid quarterback. They're a good, sound, fundamental team.
We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back and get into more of our halftime show. Also, get you updated on some of the other scores from around the area, from some of the other area teams. So we'll be back in just a second as you're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
At Centurion Cares, for more than 3 decades, their focus has been on exceeding customer expectations for contact center software solutions. Their innovative communication solutions include utility interactive voice response software that allows for smart communication features that let your utility deliver superior customer service 24/7. They also provide other streamlined services like automatic call distribution, automated customer callback, reporting, and quality assurance. To find out more about how Centurion Cares can help your business, call them at 727-421-5300 or look them up online at centurioncares.com. Centurion Cares, innovative communication solutions.
We need you.
We need you.
We need you.
We need you now more than ever.
The Southern Boone School District is hiring part-time bus drivers for route athletics and activities with no experience necessary. Our drivers enjoy flexible work hours, paid on-site CDL training, and paid time off, all while helping our community. The position offers competitive pay. Go visit sbschools.us/employment.
We need you.
Since 2018, Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC has been specializing in all things custom, using large format, high-powered lasers with some of the most advanced technologies on the market. Anything can become a canvas. This state-of-the-art system makes quick work of custom engraving on cups, glass, tile, wood, acrylic, metal, headstones with endless possibilities. They also offer custom one-of-a-kind signs that are sure to make your design stand out. Find them on Facebook at Han Custom Laser Engraving or call 573-489-8732 to find out more. Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC, a veteran-owned business.
Creating custom, handcrafted woodworking projects has never been easier. Become a member of Sawdust Studios and enjoy 24/7 access to a woodworker's paradise. Outfit with industry-leading professional-grade tools, Sawdust Studios offers endless woodworking possibilities. Don't have woodworking experience? No problem, as Sawdust Studios offers affordable classes from a community of woodworkers, experienced designers, and master craftsmen. Youth classes are also offered for those junior woodworkers. For more information, search Sawdust Studios on Facebook or find them online at sawdust247.com. Sawdust Studios, your community woodshop.
Well, both teams still in the locker room here at halftime as we still got a little over 9 minutes left before we get the second half kicked off as Southern Boone leading by a score of 14-6. Mike's been working hard on getting us some halftime scores, or most of the games I think should be in halftime by now.
We're getting there. Not everybody's getting their scores reported like you do. Anyway,
I try my
first
best.
off, Blair Oaks is playing California at California. Blair Oaks is up 34-14. School of the Osages, they must have ate their Wheaties today on defense. They're holding the Eldon Mustangs down at 14-0. Eldon's been putting up some points this year, so that's a big, huge game with humongous implications in the district. Kirksville and Moberly are tied at 14 apiece right now. No score of Mexico versus Marshall. Hannibal is up 35-0 over the Fulton Hornets. And probably the surprise of the night is Hallsville is down to Versailles 6-2. Are they playing baseball tonight?
It sure seems like another sports score.
Yeah, Jeff City is up over Sedalia at halftime 21-14. Capital City Cavaliers is beating Rockbridge 21-17. No score with Elias and Cardinal Ritter. Battle Spartans is up 28-7 over the Cupies of Hickman. And let's see, Russellville's up 15-18 over Carrollton. And down in Camden at the Jaws of Death Stadium, yes, that's what they actually call it, it's a blowout. Lakers are up 42-0. So the Purple Haze defense must be very strong down there as well.
I think they came to play for sure.
So defense has been playing well, not only here, but all throughout the Mid-Missouri area. So, yeah, we'll see what happens in the second half. Eldon Osage is 0-3 this year, so that's definitely a interesting score there. They've been kind of run out of the stadium a couple times too, so that's why we love high school football and why you got to play the games. You can't look past. So we'll see how those games there come back.
Well, I don't have any details, but I did get a text message from our crew over at Versailles that all it said was Hallsville tight end playing quarterback. So
yeah, you did say that their quarterback got kicked out at the end of last week's game, correct? Which I believe that makes he can't play at least for a half, correct?
I can't remember if it's a full game or.
You don't see that often because thankfully most high school players do a good job of keeping their emotions in check and don't get thrown out of games. But the rare occasion did happen; he did get thrown out. So,
but they have a safety, so I mean that's kudos to their defense of coming up and getting a safety in the game. They just aren't getting much offensive production out of the way, which is
good
something
for
they're not used to.
Good for sales. They're a team that hasn't won a game this year too, so they could use some good things good fortune coming their way as well.
So now for Southern Boone, they just have to put up a few more scores here and hold out Boonville from the end zone, and that would move them on to a 3-1 record. As both teams sitting at 2-1, so somebody will fall to 2-2 at 500. The other one will be 3-1 when it's all said and done. As we said, this is a Class 3 District 5 matchup, also a Tri-County Conference matchup. So not just the bragging rights on the line, but also they've got it's got some district implications a little bit, to say the least. And we start to get in, and that's something we talked about in week 1 with head coach Mark Ross, is that you have to think about those things, but you don't necessarily want to think about district quite just yet this early in the season. But we're almost at the halfway point now, and the biggest thing you can do for yourself is just do your job and win.
Yeah,
you do your
that's
job.
right.
You take care of what you have to take care of. Everything else falls into place, and that's just ultimately what has to happen. And it, like I said, it helps them out. Helps out your own cause the best. So for Southern Boone, they're trying to take care of business and get this win. And I think if they were to hold on, and if some of the other scores stay true that we have seen and have at halftime here, I think it may give
It would
a
be even a bigger
shakeup.
mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there's easily, I could see any of 5 teams come out in first and second place, and that's how close this is. Fulton, good hardworking kids, but still, they just don't have the tradition of success, and they can't find and get a good coach to stay for very long, so they're constantly having to rebuild. So outside of Fulton, the other 5 teams are all very, very close, as we've seen this year in the scores. So there's no reason to believe that every one of these games is going to matter. But like you said, like Coach Rossa says, who cares about what happens elsewhere? We got to take control now. We have the ability. We got a 2-point lead. We got a half. We know what we need to do. We just got to do it, and it's up to the players to be coachable. Let them make sure they know what to do. Keep the mental part of it. They've done a really good job with penalties so far tonight.
Yep.
They haven't had just that one false start that kind of happened on that kind of goofy formation that they only run once a game, twice a game possibly, and probably just aren't necessarily used to how to run that. So that goes into a lot of times when you try to outsmart and outthink the other team, you kind of outsmart or outthink yourself because you're just not used to running those formations.
Yeah, 3 penalties both directions for each team, and that's a change-up, as we saw 17 last week for Southern Boone. So they've definitely, taken to heart the message that head coach and Mark Ross for Southern Boone has talked to them about, and what they watched in their meetings and watching the tape and doing all that too, that they had to find a way to clean those penalties up. And for the most part, they have done that so far. As look over at the Southern Boone student section, they're apparently at a going through a roller coaster. They're at an amusement park.
They're having a good time, aren't they?
They're enjoying it, of course, when your team is up. that helps.
You can definitely tell, the coaching's been really good this week, and the players have listened. They've been very coachable because we've seen a couple different things. We've seen the good mental part, knowing what the play is, what the snap count is. We even got a couple offsides on the other team. Second, we've seen on special teams on the kickoff returns, it's been clear, they've been taught, cover the ball, get on the ground, don't even try to return it. And thirdly, we've seen the running backs do a pretty good job of 2 hands on the ball, trying to keep the ball from hitting the ground. So good job by the coaches this week on hitting the fundamentals. Good job by the players from listening, absorbing, being very coachable.
Well, and so far for Southern Boone on the offensive side, they are -4 on the turnover game through the season. They've had 2 fumbles. They've only lost 1 and had 3 interceptions. For Boonville, though, they have had 5 fumbles. They've lost 5 fumbles. They probably have had more than that, but they didn't have that stat available, or I couldn't glean it off of the stats that I found. And 6 interceptions, so they have they're at a -11 on the offensive side. On defense, they've had 2 fumbles and 3 interceptions, so that puts them overall at a -6 on the turnover margin. For Southern Boone defense, they have had 1 fumble recovery, 3 interceptions, so they are at a 0, having 4 that they've lost, 1 fumble, 3 interceptions on offense, and then recovered 1 fumble and had 3 INTs on defense. So they just sit at a 0 right now in that turnover margin. So we hasn't really played much into the game here. Just 1 fumble for Southern Boone, no fumbles for Boonville.
Definitely was a pretty fast first half that we didn't have a lot of possessions, kind of like that game we had against Mexico. So every possession is going to count. I'm interested to see what kind of changes both decides the ball make, especially on Boonville? Are they going to go revert back to their blitzing that they normally have done in the past? Because there's quite a few plays in a row there, but they did not blitz much.
Yeah, 3. Looking at the drives, there were 5 drives in the first quarter. Let me preface that there were 4.5 drives in the first quarter, and there were 3.5 in the second quarter. So just 8 overall in the game so far, and yeah, that makes for a rapid moving clock for sure. As both teams finally made their way out onto the field, they'll hear the horn sound there. Should put 3 minutes back on the clock. They do, and they'll start that. Yeah, really for Southern Boone, I think they just need to try to keep putting the hammer down. I think they need to look at maybe airing it out a little bit more. I do tend to lean towards that direction. But really, the defense for Southern Boone, they just need to keep doing what they've been doing. They found a way to limit a lot of those big plays, minus the two-play 60-yard drive. They've really found a way to limit the big plays and keep everybody in check, and I think they just need to continue to really look at that and focus on that and let the offense air it out a little bit more, and that'll get them to that win column here tonight.
Yeah, definitely defense needs to continue going to the ball strong, going to the ball in numbers to making sure, because what we've seen, the quarterback is able to spin, able to break some tackles. He's got very quick feet. Johns is a good, solid player as well, too. So definitely need to see the defense continue to go to the ball. We need Noah Rice to continue his strong start. He needs to continue to start. He needs to continue working strong, taking up space, using his advantage of weight and space to clog that hole in the middle. And linebackers as they have been doing a pretty good job of flowing to the ball. We'll be interested to see if Coach Garris kind of changes up a little bit and blitzes a little bit more. He hasn't blitzed too much so far tonight. The one time I do recall they blitzed, they ran it the opposite way. So
I would
dumb luck.
I would also like to add on to my previous statement for the second half. We need to see Noah back as fullback more often as well.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder if there's any sort of play where he leaks out to the flats or leaks out to the end zone. And can he catch? I'll have to check with his mom and mom and aunt. He's like, have you been working with throwing the ball a little bit?
You mentioned it that on that play, he just pancaked his guy. But I think that's an understatement. We need like a whole new category of what would be above a pancake, because he just laid out his guy. There was definitely a height and a weight advantage in his way, and he took full advantage of that.
He showed good feet movement on that, because that can be tough, because normally an offensive lineman only has maybe one step to meet the person you're blocking. This time he had a couple steps, and he had the linebacker was coming hard as well too. So he did a good job of maintaining his block, and Bowles correct, did a good job of hitting the hole hard and following his blocker. So, but certainly you gotta like I definitely like Coach Ross, and he's throwing some different formations out there. He's doing some tight end this year that we haven't seen before. You're pointing at Mr. Trost. He's limping a little bit, and he's out of uniform.
He's got his jersey still on, but he is in street clothes otherwise. And, yeah, he's limping on was that the left side he's limping? I got to think, I don't know if that's a knee injury. What my gut tells me is that's more of a hip issue, because he didn't really go down, didn't look any awkward, but either way, we'll never know if I'm right or wrong. But
did you stay at a Holiday Inn last night?
I did not, but I know a thing or two sometimes. But either way, his night is done, which obviously we wish him full recovery and a speedy recovery. Hopefully it's nothing major. It's just something that he needs to sit out for the remainder of today's game, get some ice on it, maybe get a little bit of therapy going, some stretching, some stuff, and he'll be back ready to play, because all these young men out here have worked very, very hard this offseason, worked very hard in this season so far, and we don't want to have anybody for either team leave with an injury. So hopefully, like we said, nothing major for him that he will have to work through, but his night for sure is done. So Salter will tee it up here for Southern Boone, as they will be kicking left to right on your Show Me Sports Network Media Center or app, however you're listening. Another low line squid kick, and that's just going to go right in between the knees of the up men. They'll take it at the 39-yard line.
It looks like Boonville coaches did a little extra job of covering, hey, cover the ball, get down, because that time he did the exact same thing that our guys are doing. So probably not going to have much fireworks in the kickoff return game tonight because neither team has given the other team a chance.
But, that's part of that chess match you got to play. You know what the strengths and the weaknesses are for your opponent, and you try to exploit that wherever you can. As it'll be ball on the 39-yard line for Boonville, as Caton will be in shotgun. He'll have a receiver here on the near side, 2 on the far side. He'll get the snap, fake the pitch, now take it back up the middle, and he will be at the 45 before he's thrown down there. He'll pick up about 6 yards.
Yeah, that time the left side of the Boonville line blocked down. They brought some pulling linemen from the right to the left. Dylan Isles read it pretty well. He saw us coming, and he kind of stepped in to kind of plug the hole, but unfortunately he went a little bit too far inside. Good job by the Pirate running back to get outside that block.
So that'll bring up a 2nd and 4 now. Ball on the 45-yard line. Caton's going to roll here to the near side, makes one man miss. He's across the 50, still on his feet. It's a foot race. He's going to cut to the middle at the 30. He'll be taken down at the 20. He just ate the defense up there. He saw the field, knew where the creases were, and he made them pay.
Yeah, that time he was reading the defensive end that time, and it was Dylan Isles again. He read the defensive end. He was able to get outside of him, and as you can see, if you're here, he's got very, very fast feet. Did a great job cutting back into the middle of the game, but Inslee did a fantastic job of not giving up the play. He tracked it down from behind from his outside linebacker spot. So good job by Inslee, not giving up on the play. And as you can see, Boonville still has some talent, still has some ability. That was a nice job by the quarterback.
So Caton will be in shotgun. He'll have a receiver on the far side. They'll have a bunch formation down here. They'll pitch it off to Leonard, and he's trying to work the far side. He'll be cut down as he'll be right about the original line of scrimmage before he's taken down.
Yeah, overload to the left. They had everyone bunched in, a tight end, and a wing back, and a sniffer back, and they just try to pitch it, try to get outside. And fantastic job that time by Mr. Young. He did a good job of pushing it outside. Inslee, again, the freshman, is just playing so well. And then McCaleb did a good job coming in. So fantastic job by the defense all the way around.
So this will bring up a 2nd and 10 as there will be a shotgun snap. Keeping himself is Caton. He'll be swallowed up quickly. He'll maybe lose a yard. When it's all said and done, he'll be shoved way back. But as forward progress, should be a loss on the play. Looks like he did lose about a yard.
Yeah, same formation. This time they went to the right side or the wide side of the field. Instead of heading off and trying to get outside, the quarterback kept up the middle. And Taylor Mange did a fantastic job of scraping to the right and plugging that hole and did a good job of wrapping him up.
So 3rd and long at the 21-yard line. 2 receivers either direction. They'll fake the handoff. They're going to throw a pass to the far side as the receiver will catch it. He'll be tied up right there, though he'll be short of the first down marker. As I believe, was that on the tackle? Yeah.
Yeah, Michaela Manuel did a fantastic job coming up and did a good job of holding on. It was a really quick screen pass out to the right flat. Did gain about 4 or 5 yards that time, but great defensive tackle that time by Mr. Manuel.
Yeah, that's probably close to a touchdown, if not inside the 5, if he cannot make that tackle. So good job there. He's making his presence known in his first game that he is playing here for Southern Boone as they will go for it. 10 on the play clock. It'll be 4th and about, they'll say 7 here. As play clock winding down, they'll get the snap off. Caton rolling here to the near side. He's got that football precariously out there looking for the end zone. Receiver wide open, caught, touchdown.
Beautifully executed play that time. They haven't done much rolling out with him. That time they rolled him out to the left. Again, that's his weak side. Good job by the offensive line that time, getting Mr. Young blocked inside, so that gave him plenty of room, plenty of time. 33, who made we had the good tackle on him earlier, did a good job. Both hands on the ball wide open. Did a good job getting his feet tapped.
That's Mr. Griffin with the touchdown reception, goes 17 yards as the lead goes back to Boonville as they will try a 2-point conversion. Same formation, rolling here the near side. And pass is going to be knocked away. Nice job on the defense, and knocking the pass away is Manuel. And it goes incomplete, so it just makes it a 4-point lead for Boonville at 18-14. We'll take a quick break and be back as you're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
Last Sentinel Firearms is your federally licensed and registered Type 7 FFL manufacturer dealer in Missouri, providing quality products to all types of sports enthusiasts, law enforcement, and individuals across the nation. Orders are currently being fulfilled, offering custom-built pistols and rifles from the AR platform made right here in Missouri. Visit their website at lastsentinelfirearms.com or call them at 417-684-7202 to find out what they've got for you. Last Sentinel Firearms, you are your last line of defense.
Well, Southern Boone now trails by 4 at 18-14, 8:38 left on the clock here in this third quarter. It was a 6-play, 61-yard drive. And there's going to be a pooch kick that's going to be taken by Jennings at about the 36-yard line.
Just like the last three kicks that time, simple pitch kick, and thankfully for us, it was up in the air, and Jennings was able to catch it clean in the air. And again, he got down to the ground because that's what he was coached and told to do.
Absolutely. So Southern Boone will trail now by 4 as they have the football, trying to get the defense to jump off sides as they actually say ball at the 37-yard line. As they will get set here, 1st and 10 from their play clock rolling down. Now they got to get the play off on 5. Now they will, as they'll give it off to Bowles. He's going to have second effort to pick up a couple of yards, but not much.
Aggressive defense that time by the Pirates. They had 5 men on the line. On top of that, they blitzed 2 linebackers. So they had 7 men coming hard to the ball, and fortunate to get 2 yards on that play.
So it'll bring up a 2nd and 8. They'll have twin receivers up top, one here on the bottom. As high snap, but able to get it, give it off to Bowles on a quick handoff. He's working far side. He'll be up near the 44-yard line, so he'll pick up about 4 there.
Much better job of the offensive line, especially on the left-hand side. Post Niles and Boyce did a good job of getting up there, and they did send in 2 linebackers again, send in plus the 5, so they were being pretty aggressive and good gain, good blocking by the offensive line.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down now. As Evans in shotgun, he'll give it off to Bowles, working the far side, pushing the pile. He's going to be close. I'll see where they mark him. He will be shy, so we'll bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, quick pitch to the left that time, sweep, pulled left side, and did a good job of getting outside, but again, the linebackers are flying really fast. If we got a play action call, now would be a good time to possibly run it.
So it'll bring up a 4th and 1 as trips down low, 2 up top. Evans marks out the cadence. Now he looks over at the sidelines. Now he'll back up a little bit. He'll get the snap. Little pooch kick. He'll get it off. Good spiraling kick. It's going to bounce at the 21. Take a couple more bounces, head near the 10-yard line. So good job of him to pin the Pirates deep in their own territory.
Another good kick by the quarterback. Good defense by the Pirates. They get the ball back with some momentum going on. So what can Coach Garris dial up on defense to slow down the Pirates' offense?
So ball again at their own 10-yard line. As we'll take a quick break and be back. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
Attention Eagles fans, here's your chance to help the student athletes of Southern Boone County by becoming a member of the Southern Boone Booster Club. Your gifts help provide all Southern Boone County athletes with a safe and positive experience while attending our school district, and also help purchase items that our sports team couldn't otherwise afford. You can join the Southern Boone Booster Club this season for as little as $25. Membership is open to everyone. Interested in joining? Look them up on Facebook by searching Southern Boone Booster Club or email them at sbcathleticboosters@gmail.com. Let's go Eagles!
Yeah, nice job there of punting it deep into Boonville's territory as they will start this possession at their own 10-yard line is where the Pirates will have the football. They have the lead right now at 18-14. As in shotgun will be Caton. works predominantly out of the shotgun. 3 receivers near side. They're going to bring some pressure as they'll give it off on the end around, and the running back will run into his own guy before he's taken down there by one of the Eagles.
Yeah, Jennings got some help that time from the inside by the offensive lineman. He didn't get to anybody and got in the way, but Jennings did a good job of coming down. They were trying to overpower to the left on a counter play, but good job by Jennings on the tackle.
Clock rolling, 6:20 left to go here in this third quarter. Again, 18-14 score in favor of the Pirates. As Caton will be in shotgun, he'll have a bunch formation down low, have one up top. As he will roll to the near side, fake the pitch, has to get rid of it, does so on a little screen pass to Griffin. He'll have the first down. He picks up maybe 9 yards there, enough to move the chains.
Yeah, play action, fake the run to the left, do a little mini roll to the right, and a nice strike of a pass by their quarterback. Did a good job getting to their 33, who is shown to be very sure-handed tonight. Did a good job of getting forward, and a nice first down by the Pirates.
Griffin, a junior here at Boonville. So another set of downs, ball on the 21-yard line for Boonville. They'll send a man in motion to the far side. They'll do the end around as that's Johns. He'll weave his way through traffic. He's got 10 yards before he's tripped up. He'll gain about 12.
I think it's the first time we've seen that kind of a counter all the way from the left side. Johns, again, good, tough, good, hard runner. Did a good job picking up everything that he can. Good box and good play.
So he will come out here for the play. They'll bring in a new back. This is Watson coming in, new receiver rather. So everybody will look over to get the sign from the Boonville sideline. 5:10 on the clock. Again, 18-14 score. Boonville leading Southern Boone County. So I'll have 2 here on the near side, 1 up top as Caton rolling here to the near side. He's going to get through the first wave before Morris will plant him at the 35-yard line. He'll pick up a couple yards.
What a good, tough run that was. The Eagles were in place, had good penetration, had some good lines of penetration, good lanes covered, but their quarterback just squirted through there. I can't believe he gained 2-3 yards out of that, but good job. Got some Justin Poses in, expelling Noah Rice now at nose guard. See if we can get him some reps, get him some quickness in there.
Well, you know, their quarterback only listed at 5'7". I think that helped him out there, that he was just able to squirt through underneath the white walled jersey that was headed at him there. They'll have twins on either way. He'll move the back. That's Leonard to the far side. Again, he'll keep it himself. He's going to be wrapped up after he picks up 3 yards. It'll be a 3rd and short.
Yeah, it's a called play that time, and what they do that time, they leave our right side. At that time, it was 55 did a good job of staying tight, but he was able to break the tackle, and good job by the linebackers to keep that down. It's just amazing how fast his feet are.
Yeah, he has a very quick turnover on him. He's able to get that foot planted, picked it back up, and turn it back over very rapidly, which gets those engines up to speed rather quickly. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 3, clock nearing 3.5 to go here in this third quarter, as ball on the 39-yard line for the Pirates, as he'll keep it himself, and he's going to be about a yard short. That is Caton with it.
Yeah, they pulled their right side to the left, and great job again by Young. Did a good job of getting in there and causing some disruption. Good job by Inslee of getting up there as well, keeping it short.
Well, they say.
Are they giving it to him?
They're giving it to him. Says it's a new
Still
set of downs.
4th down, though. Okay, yeah. Wow.
So they are going to say it moves the chains. So we'll bring up a new set of downs in ball at the 42-yard line for Boonville. Clock just under 3 minutes to go is straight up the middle again. We've seen a lot of this same play call, as it'll be a 4-yard gain, bring up a 2nd and 6.
Yeah, smash bounce football, but instead of handing off to your running back, you let your quarterback, you say 5'7" of them, 155 pounds or so, just running tough up the middle. Good job by the offensive line, getting a little bit of a crease. Good run, but good job by the defense of getting up there in penetration. Inslee came in hard on that play, too, from his outside linebacker position.
Well, this game's slowing down the pace just a bit. Is clock under 2:20 to go here in the third quarter. 18-14 score. Boonville leading Southern Boone, as Caton will be in shotgun. He'll get the snap. He'll roll to the far side as he will cut it around the corner. He's going to be sandwiched there as he will pick up short yardage before he is met by Taylor Mange and planted there after a yard gain.
Yeah, Jennings from his left outside linebacker spot was being blocked out, so they were trying to get cut up in between, and they thought they had him, but he did a good job of getting a hand on him, and that allowed enough slowing him down so Mange can come up. But definitely sensing that they are trying to slow the game down quite a bit here.
Caton's going to come out, and he's holding that right shoulder as he took that big hit there, as Johns will now be in running the offense. We saw this earlier. 3rd and about 5 now, as we'll have a timeout called. It's 2 seconds on the play clock, so Boonville has to burn a timeout, as this will be their first one. It comes with 1:24 left in this third quarter, so we'll take a quick break and be back. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
Running out of some of your favorite Avon products and haven't seen an Avon brochure in quite some time? No need to worry. Avon Independent Sales Representative Michelle Carty can help with your Skin So Soft makeup, jewelry, fragrance, and skincare needs. Avon now carries cleaning supplies, clothing, daily essentials, and several small LG electronic items. You now have the opportunity to shop online 24/7 and have your order shipped directly to your front door by shopping with Michelle at mcarty.avonrepresentative.com or find her on Facebook by searching Avon Carty.
Well, Boonville has to take a timeout as their first one of the second half, as they were trying to change personnel out there on the field, as Colby Caton, the senior quarterback, needed a moment to compose himself, but he's back out there. So whatever the right shoulder issue was after that big hit on the tackle, he says he's ready to go back in there. So it'll be trips down low and 2 receivers up top, as they've got an empty backfield. Now they'll bring one of those trips over into more of a wing formation. As dropping back, now rolling here the near side is Caton. He's going to have some pressure, rolling to the far side. He's going to throw it up to a wide open receiver for the first down and more, as catching that is Watson, and he takes it for almost 30 yards.
What a incredible play. It started out like he was going to run it to the left. He was kind of waiting to see what was there. Instead, he stopped. He did have some pass pressure. Aiden Young was giving him some pressure, and he spun around and went to the right and did an amazing job to see his wide-open receiver. Did a good job getting the ball there. Good job by the receiver catching the ball. So nice play call. Great execution by their quarterback.
So this will be a new set of downs now. Clock stopped at 1:13 left here in this third quarter, as they'll have an empty backfield again. Caton will take the snap now. He'll take it up the middle on a delayed run, a dive there straight up the middle. He'll get maybe a half yard.
Great job of the defensive line that time. Dylan Isles did a fantastic job of shedding his block and putting a really good pounding to the quarterback, 6'5" versus 5'7". So good job getting low, good job shutting the block. So good job of the defensive line that time.
Well, they say Caton didn't gain any yards on the play, so it will still be a 2nd and 10. Game clock rolling under 45 seconds to go here in this third quarter. We'll have the 3 receivers down here the near side, 1 up top. As in shotgun is Caton. He'll get the snap. He'll keep it himself after he fakes the handoff. That pile moves forward maybe a yard before it's thrown back again. Defense stiffening up here.
Yeah, good aggressive call that time. Coach Garris blitzed Jennings on the right-hand side, and that kind of caused them to kind of have to watch him, and then that freed up the defensive line. Noah Rice did a good job. Hayden Young did a good job. Dylan Niles did a good job of getting off their blocks. And as we've seen all year, both Taylor and Taylor Mange have done a good job of coming up and scraping and filling those holes well.
So clock winding down here, as they are going to let it go to the end of the quarter. So after 3 quarters of play, it's an 18-14 Boonville lead. We'll take a quick break and be back. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
The following public service announcement is brought to you by the Eddie Gaedel Society, Jefferson City Chapter 10, doing little things to make a big difference.
Want to make a big difference in your community? Be kind to others, drive safely, and put litter in its proper place.
Join us in celebrating Eddie Goodell's historic Major League appearance as a member of the St. Louis Browns by doing something nice for someone today.
Take a walk, Eddie.
In today's world, injury prevention is at the top of everyone's list. However, heat-related occurrences get routinely overlooked. Zealous WBGT puts that front and center. By using cutting-edge formulas and technology, Zealous WBGT streamlines and simplifies obtaining and documenting wet bulb globe temperature readings. With a simple touch of a button, you can check WBGT anywhere in the world, receiving alerts when the WBGT goes over the threshold you select. Join the stress-free way to protect student-athletes, employees, and overall operations from extreme heat by downloading the free Zealous WBGT app today. Save time, save money, save lives with Zealous WBGT.
Well, we switch into the field here. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 8 for Boonville as they've got trips on the far side. They're looking that way. Quarterback is going to be hit, and he's going to be spun around. Now he'll be taken down, but he'll get the pass off as he was spun around, barely knew which way to go as that was pressure everywhere in his face. This will bring up a 4th down.
It looked like they were trying to fake the screen to the left to Johns. Taylor was screaming in there, blitzed by him from linebacker. And again, 5'7", so he's able to stay under. Did a good job of escaping that. Still had some pressure, but did a fantastic job of finding somebody to throw to and bail him out.
It looked like they might have got off quickly, but no call as there's going to be a pass, and it's going to be, well, they say caught at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, just a skinny post that time to their inside wide receiver. Quick, just a 3-step drop, and threw it. Nice strike. Some might say it might have skipped, but we didn't have the right angle.
That'll be 1st and goal at the 10-yard line as it was completed there. So that 4th down picks up, moves the chains. 10th first down of the game for Boonville. So I have 1st and goal at the 10-yard line as Caton will be in shotgun again, has receivers here. On the one on the near side bunched up top. He'll keep it himself. He's going to be met quickly. He might actually lose about 1.5 yards or so.
Yeah, Coach Garris brought the house from the inside linebackers that time. Came hard. Teller Mange hit that hole hard. He was not blocked at all. And Teller is probably our best, surest tackler on the team.
So he does lose about 3 yards there on the play. So it'll bring up 2nd and goal. Ball resting just outside the 15-yard line. At the 14, so he did lose 4 yards. They'll have 3 receivers here on the near side, 1 up top, 1 back standing to his left. Caton will be in shotgun. He'll get the snap, looking near side, has some pressure. He's going to have to step up. He's going to make one man miss. He'll be tackled across the 10, so he'll pick up about 7 or 8 yards.
Yeah, again, Coach Garris blitzed outside linebackers. Did a good job. The lineman did a good job of creating some lanes. He stepped up in the hole just like we've seen Evans do a couple times for the Eagles. Did a good job stepping up. And that time he did make Taylor Mange miss. Again, this is a pretty special, hard-nosed, tough quarterback who's got great feet.
So Caton will be in shotgun, has Leonard to his right. He'll bark out a hard signal, but nobody jumps as they'll look back to see if they want to change the play here. 8 on the clock, continuing to roll. Trip receivers near side. Now they'll send the man in motion from the far side here to the near side. And play clock winds down, and a timeout has to be called here. So 2nd timeout. This one comes with 9:44 left in the 4th quarter. So we'll take a quick break. Again, 18-14 lead. Boonville over Southern Boone. We'll take a quick break and be back. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
At Southern Boone School District, our educators do more than just teach. Lives are being shaped for the future before they even enter a classroom. For students to succeed, it takes an entire district-wide team. Our students need you. Join Southern Boone School District's team today, now offering competitive salaries and benefits for all positions. Visit ashland.k12.mo.us and click on the Employment tab.
Well, a timeout called by Boonville. They've got one left now, all three remaining for Southern Boone. Clock stopped, 9:44 left to go here in regulation. It is a 4-point game at 18-14. Boonville leading Southern Boone here in a game that has been a chess match to say the least, as Southern Boone defense being called upon again. It's a 3rd and goal, ball at the 9-yard line. As Caton will have 3 receivers at the top of the play. He'll get the snap, looking near side, throws it. It's over his receiver, just out of his reach. He was looking for Johns. That was a Mahomes-esque pass right there as he threw it before his receiver even broke.
Yeah, that was a quick pass, only a 3-step drop, just a quick 5 and out. Just really, really quick. That time, Garris did not blitz too much, so I think that was what the Pirates were expecting that. So now we have a place kicker out here.
Ross Brakeman will come on to try the 25-yard attempt. Snap is high. Kick is going to be blocked as it'll go into the end zone and out the back of the end zone. You saw the pressure coming here from the near side.
Yeah, high snap. The placeholder had to basically come out of his stance. And anytime that happens, that just gives an extra second for the rush to get there. So good rush, good effort by the Eagles there to keep them out of the end zone.
So we will swap possessions here. 9:37 left to go here in the ball game. Southern Boone trailing by 4 at 18-14. Ball will be spotted on the 20-yard line of Southern Boone. So they've got to go 80 yards here in order to take the lead. As fast as this game has gone, though, it might take us the 9:37 to go. So Evans will have 2 receivers in the near side. They're going right to left on your Show Me Sports Network app or media center. They're going to run somebody on way late. As 5 on the play clock, they'll have to call timeout. So we'll take a quick break and be back as you're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
Hi, I'm retired Army Sergeant Trent Dirks, and I want to tell you about an organization that saved and changed my life forever. Retrieving Freedom provides highly trained service dogs to veterans with disabilities and children with autism, absolutely free of charge, thanks to the generous donations and support from people just like you. Experts from Retrieving Freedom help throughout the entire process, from fostering programs through service dog placement. Retrieving Freedom gave me the skilled service dog Tracer, who has been my best friend and my lifeline. To find out more about how you can get involved, volunteer, foster, or to donate, visit their website, retrievingfreedom.org. Retrieving Freedom, changing lives through the training and placement of service dogs for veterans with disabilities and children with autism.
Well, Southern Boone has to call a timeout there as play clock was down to about 4. So I'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. 2 receivers near side. Have everybody bunched up on the far side. Now they'll move them down here, so everybody's down here on the near side as they'll fake the handoff to Bowles. Actually, they'll give it to him, and he'll be cut down for a loss.
Yeah, tried to pull right to left, but unfortunately the number 71 from the left-hand side rode the hip of the pulling offensive lineman and got there untouched.
So he will lose a couple of yards there to bring up a 2nd and long now for Southern Boone. As we said, they trail by 4 o'clock. Continuing to roll, nearing 9 minutes to go here in regulation. That'll bring up a 2nd and 12 now. Ball on their own 18-yard line. So they'll have twin receivers on both sides. Now they'll send Morris in motion. They'll give it to him on the end around. He's trying to get the corner. Stops, makes one man miss. Cuts back here to the near side. He's got a lot of open room as he's going to be across the 20, 25, 30. He's going to still race across the 35 before he's shoved out.
Surprised on that one. I thought he had the edge to the right, but he didn't like what it looked like, so he decided to cut up to inside, but then decided he didn't like that either. Decided to reverse field and made a nice, good job of gaining what he could. And, again, Johns from the other team was pretty impressive in tracking him down. But good play by both players. It's good to see our best against their best.
So they will run another player on late here. Plenty of time as 10 on the clock. They'll have trips up top. Single receiver down low. as they'll make the pitch off to Bowles. He's trying to cut it inside. He's across the 40, still on his feet, making his way to the 45 before he's thrown down there. Gives a stiff arm to gain a couple more yards.
Yeah, nice job there. The quarterback was kind of reading to see what the defensive end would do. And when the defensive end came inside, he decided to pitch. Did a good job getting outside the end there. Nice, good, hard running game there.
8:20 left on the clock here. And continuing to roll as Southern Boone trying to take as much off the clock as they can before they were to punch it in. Would give them the lead as they trail by 4. In the load up down here on the near side, down in front of us, ball on the 45-yard line. As they'll make the pitch off through the hands of Bowles, and he will fall on it.
Yeah, just trying to get a quick pitch to the left that time. That way Bowles can read what the lineman can do with the end. We'd like to try to hook that in, but that time the ball went right through his hands. Looked like it was a good pitch, so not sure what happened there.
So we'll bring up a 3rd and 9 now. The nice fancy electronic down marker has apparently malfunctioned.
Someone didn't charge it up after that JV game this week, probably.
It is blank, but it is 3rd and 9 now. As looking far side to throw a little screen pass, that's over Bowles' head. That was put up pretty good as he'll dive on it. But I think it was a forward pass.
Yeah, we've run that a little bit, emptied the backfield by putting the back in motion, seeing what the defense, how they react, and then throw it to him, but a little bit high off his fingers. And as a running back and wide receiver, you got to cover the ball no matter what. You never know. But it was a forward pass.
So Taylor will come on to punt now, as deep back will be Johns to receive the kick. He'll be standing at just shy of his own 30. I'll keep backing up now, so he's on his 30. And on his 29. Taylor standing on his 23-yard line. There's the snap and the kick, but whistles and a flag.
Get a good free 5 yards maybe. Yep. The older Ellison was a little excited, a little fast, but that time and got it across the line of scrimmage.
So do you still punt it here, or do you think you bring the offense out and go for it?
Well, the kicks have worked pretty well. Each time he's kicked, it got a good roll. But no change. Well, here we go. Going back to our offense personnel. So we'll see what the defense gives, see what coach feels to do, but my guess is they're probably still going to pooch it.
I think you're right, but you know what? I think, well, my assumption is Coach Ross is listening to our broadcast down there on the sidelines. And
well, he's got 4 yards. Yeah, they might. Yeah, you're right. I thought it was a little deeper than that. So, yeah, I think they're going to be going for this.
So it'll be 4th and 4. They'll send Taylor in motion here to the near side. They'll get the snap. They'll give it off to Bowles. He's got near the first down. They'll see where they mark it.
Yeah, good tough run, good second effort at that time. You can kind of tell when Evans, if he's going to pooch it, he usually will take a couple steps back after he looks over the sideline. So he did not do that this time. Plus Bowles was right next to him. So good job. Put Taylor in motion from right to left. He did a good job. It was just a nice power over the tackle behind Boyce and nails and posts. So good job by the offensive line.
So we'll bring up a new set of downs now for Southern Boone, as it'll be 1st and 10. As Evans will get the snap, he'll give the fake the handoff, keep it himself, trying to get to the near side. He'll take a big hit right there, quarterback on quarterback.
Yeah, same
action right there.
Same action that we saw in the last play, but instead of handing off to the running back, the quarterback kept it. And this time, their defense did a good job of filling the holes. And again, what a special player that number 3 is for the Pirates. He came up and he laid a good load on Evans.
We don't get to see quarterback on quarterback that often, so I think he was
not often.
Definitely taking full advantage of that. As Evans will be in shotgun. He does lose a yard on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 11 as he'll fake the handoff, roll to the far side. Is going to hit his receiver. That's Taylor across midfield. He's got big yardage, but a flag comes in. He's got about 15 yards, but.
Yeah, good job. Good play call. Taylor was wide open on the rollout, on the bootleg to the right. Good pass, but unfortunately the wide receiver on his side came back and kind of blindsided the block there. The defenseless player that we've seen instant a couple years ago. I know we've seen it this year as well. So it's the right call. He's got to get used to this kind of running up and kind of staying in there, not But we'll get that coached out.
So it will be a personal foul penalty. A tough call there as they had the first down. So now to back them up, what would have been a first down is now, is that 22? Be a whole lot clocked, stopped at 6 minutes. So to bring up 2nd and 22 now.
I think they might have called helmet to helmet on that one, actually.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. It could have went a multitude
Could
of
have
ways.
done either way.
So 2nd and 22, Twins on either side. As back in shotgun, now they'll split off bowls. They're looking to fake the screen pass, looking downfield, throwing it up. That's for McKee, and he will not be able to make the catch. There might have been a little shove as he gets up limping, and he's going to go back down. I don't know if he's got a cramp or he just fell on awkwardly, but he's going to go down at the 24-yard line.
A great play call by Coach Ross there. He faked to the running back, motion to the left, and 17 was open. But, again, number 3 for the Pirates did a fantastic job of coming off his player to make the play on the player to the inside. So just a good job. In 5-7, he got up and knocked that ball down. So nice play by the young quarterback / defensive back. Nice play call, too. It was there.
Does look like they're working for maybe a cramp there on McKee. Looking at the lower leg of his, they will help him up, and he is going to walk off very gingerly, but he's going to walk off. Put an arm on one of the other coaches very gingerly on that left leg.
Trainers. One of the sharp-dressed trainers, so.
But, it does, as he's walking off, he is putting a little weight on there, so hopefully it's nothing major that he can get stretched out on the sideline. So we'll have to obviously sit out this play, get him taken care of, get him back in there. But you're right, that was a good play call, just double coverage. That's a couple times now we've seen that double coverage.
Just a fantastic play by number 3. He came off, he was guarding somebody. He saw the ball, he came off his guy and made huge ground, jumped up, got to the very top of the point of his jump to knock the ball away.
I think
like I said, he wasn't even the guy that was being targeted.
You might be right, too. You talked about not plugging in the fancy electronic down marker. They're back to the old school flip kind now.
Well, at least they have that one.
I know, it's good. Yeah,
I'm
they got
impressed.
a backup.
Good job. Well, they got all that gambling money here. They got everything they need.
So 5:36 left to go here in regulation. 4-point Boonville lead. It'll be 3rd and 22. It's a go route for everybody as empty backfield. Evans has some time back there. Now he's got some pressure. He's going to have to roll here to the near side. He's going to have to get rid of it, though, as he is losing ground. He's at his own 10. Now he'll be at his 15, at his 20. He'll throw as Morris has got it near the 50. That is a play you don't see that often.
An awesome play there. They only rush 4. 4 people coming. They got a little bit. Again, the line did their job. They protected for at least a good 3 seconds. So he got a little antsy, rolled out to his right. Ellison, the older Ellison, was there to cause some pressure, and he did a good job reversing field to the left. Did a good job coming up, and Morris did a good job sticking his hand up, say, hey, I'm right here wide open. So good job knowing where he is on the field. So what a fabulous play to make this even possible to convert on 4th down.
There was a whole lot of traffic there, but he was able to find his receiver. As they're going to go for it on 4th down. He's got some pressure, throw a little screen pass as he will get it to Morris. He's got the first down as he's tackled just shy of his 40-yard line. They move the chains on a 4th and 8.
Yeah, that's a fake to the screen to the left and run the tunnel screen back to the right to your most dangerous weapon that you have. And Morris did a fantastic job of catching the ball and turning upfield, picking the right holes. So it's good to see him back after he limped off a couple plays ago.
Well, that previous play, too, Evans was back at his own 10 at one point before being able to get some daylight. Definitely made me think of Patrick Mahomes there.
Or Michael Vick.
So trips far side. 2 down here on the near side. It's a go route for everybody again. This time it'll be a little quicker pass as he'll get it to Taylor. It'll be about a 6-7 yard gain. So we'll bring up a manageable 2nd down.
Yeah, great job of the offensive line. The Pirates only sent 4. Nice job by Evans. He sat still. He sat comfortable in his pocket instead of trying to scramble with his feet. That time he stayed in the pocket, did a great job. because the line did their job. Nice, good pass, good catch, nice, good 7-yard gain.
Ball beyond the 34-yard line, so second and we'll say 3. Clock continuing to roll. Near 4:10 left to go. 4-point Boonville lead. Seen all go routes for the most part here. Looks like that's what we're going to stay with as 5 wide receivers, empty backfield for Evans. He'll drop back looking far side. He's going to throw, and nice job to go up and get it. Is that Bowles?
That was Bowles. Bowles was split out. He wasn't in motion, and it was like you said, a fly route. Evans noticed he had plenty of room that time because the defensive back was given a good 8-10 yards cushion on him. So nice, good play call, and we're getting that passing that you wanted to see at halftime.
Bowles goes up and gets that pass and tackled at the 19-yard line. Again, clock rolling, 3:30 and counting left here in regulation. Is in the backfield. Bowles will line up this time. We'll have 2 receivers near side. They'll give it to him. He'll stutter step. Now he'll try to dive through the line there. He'll get back to the original line, not much else.
Just like we saw in the first half, there were quite a few plays in the first half where they weren't blitzing anybody. And, again, that's not their norm. They're a 79, 80% blitzing team. That time they brought in 2, plus their 4-down linemen, and that clogged the hose up pretty quickly. So now we got that chess match on.
Under 3 to go here. Still an 18-14 Boonville lead. Bowles will be in the right hip pocket of Evans. They'll give it to him. He's working near side. Now cuts it in. He'll pick up maybe a yard.
Yeah, that time they did not blitz. So good job again. I think Coach Ross was expecting the blitz, but they didn't bring it. So they stayed home. Did a good job. So the defensive line is starting to do a good job of getting a little tougher as they get closer to the goal line.
So we'll bring up a 3rd down here. So it'll bring up 3rd and 9. As they'll have twin receivers down low. They'll send another in motion down here to the near side. As they'll fake the handoff, rolling to the near side is Evans. He's looking downfield. He's going to throw, hit his receiver in the hands. I believe that was Taylor.
Yeah, bootleg to his left again. He's a left-hand quarterback, so it's a strength. Did a good job. He had a couple different options to go to. He went to the intermediate route. Taylor was wide open from his tight end position from the right-hand side, but dropped the ball.
He would have been short of the first down marker, but would have made it a little more manageable as it's 4th and 9. Clock stopped with the incomplete pass at 2 minutes and 7 seconds. You hear the fans come alive for Boonville, and we have a timeout called by Boonville as they want to talk it over.
Yeah, the Eagles showed an empty backfield set that time, and the Pirates coach did not care for the play call they have, which I was interested to see what they were going to do there. A lot of times they've only done 4, and we've been able to do very, very well when they have 4. So I'll be interested to see if it happens again, if they decide to blitz somebody.
Well, that timeout taken, that is the 3rd one used of the half for Boonville. Southern Boone still has both of their timeouts here in this second half of action as they trail by a score of 18-14, 2:07 left here in regulation. This upcoming play, this is the 12th play of the possession. The one before ended up being a 16-play drive that ended with a 23-yard field goal try that was no good. We've only had each team with the ball one time here in this 4th quarter of play.
And we got 2:07 left, so obviously not much time left here.
So 4th and 9, ball at the 19-yard line. As again, empty backfield for Southern Boone. They'll have 3 receivers on the top, 2 on the bottom. So it looks like they are going to try to take the lead here. Is looking far side is Evans. He's going to throw for the corner. Diving grab, no good. Was short of Morris. It might have been tipped maybe.
Wide open. That time, for the first time tonight, Boonville only sent 3 linemen. They left a 4th person. Looked like they were being more of a quarterback spy. So plenty of time. Offensive line did a fantastic job at giving him plenty of time. He had a guy open, but I don't know if he just had the jitters that time, but it was off the mark. But interesting defensive call by the Pirates, only rushing 3.
And just falls short of his intended target in Morris. As that ends up being a turnover on downs for Southern Boone. Boonville will take over on the 18-yard line.
I think the ball is going to be in number 3's hands the entire time.
Yep, he will just tuck it himself, roll here to the near side as he will make a couple men miss. He'll get across the 25. So he will be close to a first down run on his own right there.
Yeah, nothing special at times. The quarterback keeper, he's a really good job of waiting for the hold to develop, and he definitely was not going to get out of bounds.
So Southern Boone calls a timeout here. Their second called here in the second half of action.
Be interested to see if Coach Garris calls up any blitzes this time. I really don't expect them to try to pass, but they could do that little fake quarterback sprint again and just maybe a little loft over. That would be all they need to do is get a first down, and the game is pretty much going to be over, I believe, if I'm doing my math and my time right. But certainly, if I'm the Pirates, I'm putting the ball in number 3's hands. He's extremely capable. He's got that backyard, scrappy, playground type of a quarterback feel to him. Makes nothing but great decisions.
Well, minute 49 left on the clock. Again, Boonville leading by a score of 18-14. As it's a 2nd and 1 after Caton gains 9 yards. Expect to see him do it again here. As he will take it himself straight up the middle. And he'll be pushed back. We'll see where they mark his forward progress. Looks like he did get about 1.5 yards. And
yeah, they're getting the first down. Good, tough, hard run. He was met really well by Taylor Mange in the middle. And he's did a good job of being strong. He does have a good, strong base. He's kind of a thick quarterback. But he's got good, tough, strong legs. So nice play call. Nice, tough gain. Nice, good job of the lineman. And if I'm doing my math right, that's our last time out, correct?
That is the last time out.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to get a chance.
Ball spotted at the 29-yard line.
Yeah. We definitely get a stop. If we get a stop, we might be able to get the ball back.
Again, 4-point lead. Boonville leading. Southern Boone by a score of 18-14. Ball game been back and forth. This is only the third possession here this fourth quarter. As Boonville will have the football, their own 29-yard line. They've got a new set of downs to work with as Caton will be in shotgun. He'll have a lot of company back there, and he'll take a knee at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, 40-second time clock, so 4 times. Yep, 80. It's going to be close.
Yeah, there might be maybe, 10, 12 seconds
10,
left?
12 seconds here. I'm kind of surprised they're doing that kneel down formation, to be honest with you.
This will bring up a 2nd and long here. 2nd and 14, but at this point that doesn't really matter. So he'll take a knee there. So
it's 20 seconds. Yep, the math's right.
That'll bring up a 3rd down now.
Yep. And one more snap, and that's the game. So tough game for the Eagles to play. They had a good opportunity to do some things right. But good job of the Pirates to make some good plays when they needed to, especially when they've lost their especially talented player.
So he'll take a knee. This will bring up a 4th down, but 37 on the play clock, 27 on the game clock. So this should, for all intents and purposes.
Yep, that's it. They're getting ready to line up, shake hands hats off to the Pirates. They did a good job, nice job by the coaches and the players to make changes once they lost. Truce early in the game. We only saw him for probably 1 or 2 plays is all I remember.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
Great job by the coaches. Great job by number 3, Caton. He did a fabulous job. John stepped up, did a good job. Just a really good job all the way around by the Pirates. Eagles played a tough game, but is all they're going to be the rest of the way.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back here, get into your post-game shows. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
You've been listening to Southern Boone County Eagles football on the exclusive home for Eagles football, the Show Me Sports Network. Exclusive play-by-play coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football has been brought to you by Avon with Michelle Carty, Boone County Journal, Centurion Cares, Eddie Goodell Society, Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC, Last Sentinel Firearms, Retrieving Freedom, Sawdust Studios, Southern Boone Booster Club, and Zealous WBGT. The biggest and absolute best coverage in mid-Missouri continues as you're just moments away from the exclusive post-game show. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football on the Eagles Radio Network.
At the Boone County Journal, we're with you all the way. We know that you're more than just a subscriber. You're an employer, you're a parent, you're a neighbor. Most importantly, you're a community member. It's our goal to provide you with the latest news, sports, opinions, obituaries, classifieds, and more to keep you informed about your community. To find out more about the Boone County Journal or to subscribe, call 573-657-2334 or visit bocojoe.com. The Boone County Journal. We're with you all the way.
This is the Southern Boone County Eagles postgame show on the exclusive home for Eagles football, the Show Me Sports Network. The Show Me Sports Network broadcast crew will discuss their thoughts on tonight's game as well as look ahead to the next action for the Eagles. Exclusive postgame coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football is brought to you by Avon with Michelle Carty, Boone County Journal, Centurion Cares, Eddie Goodell Society, Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC, Last Sentinel Firearms, Retrieving Freedom, Sawdust Studios, Southern Boone Booster Club, and Zealous WBGT. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football on the Eagles Radio Network. Now let's go live to the field to the Show Me Sports Network broadcast booth.
Well, the Eagles drop a tough one here to Boonville, a Class 3 District 5 matchup, as well as a Tri-County Conference matchup, as they fall by a final of 18-14 in a game that was well played on both sides. But the Eagles just come up a hair short. They had a chance to win it in almost walk-off fashion, but their pass falls incomplete. And they turn it over on downs. And then from that point on for Boonville, they were able to just kind of run the clock down. And that's exactly what they did, run the clock down. And got a couple of first downs along their way to help out their cause. But they walk out of their home house here and get the 18-14 win. And still a tough-fought game on both sides, so nothing to hang their heads about for the Eagles. As taking a look, we'll take a look at your scoring summary here. As everything got started off with the ball game, it was late in the first quarter, but it was Boonville getting the first score on a 14-yard touchdown run by senior Jackson Johns. The PAT was no good. It was blocked. That was a 5-play, 80-yard drive. That score came with 50 seconds left in the first quarter. That made it a 6-0 Boonville lead, and that is how the first quarter ended. Then Southern Boone would answer back on a 22-yard touchdown pass from Evans to Morris. PAT was good by Salter. That made it a 7-6 advantage in favor of Southern Boone. That was a 3-play, 61-yard drive. That came with 6:13 left to go in the second quarter. Then Boonville would score again, this time on a 54-yard touchdown pass from Caton to Johns. The two-point conversion was no good. That was a two-play, 60-yard drive. That was with 5:27 left in the second quarter. That made it a 12-7 advantage in favor of Boonville. Then Southern Boone would score with 2 seconds left before halftime. They score on a 9-yard touchdown pass from Evans to Taylor. They tried the two-point conversion. They had a penalty, so had to back up and do the PAT from Salter was good. That was a 12-play, 63-yard drive. That made them ahead by a score of 14-12. And then Boonville would score the last touchdown of the game on a 17-yard touchdown pass from Caton to Griffin. The two-point conversion was no good. Pass was knocked down. It was a 6-play, 61-yard drive. That made it an 18-14 score with 8:34 left to go in the third quarter. That was in favor of Boonville. That score would take us through the remainder of the third quarter as well as through the fourth quarter as Boonville advances to 3-1 on the season rather for Southern Boone. They drop to a record of 2-2 on the year. They fall to 1-1 in Class 3 District 5 action as well. As I said, a game that nothing to hang their heads about by any means, as it was a tough-fought game, but just came up a few points short on the scoreboard. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back and get into some of the other post-game activities for you as you're listening to exclusive post-game coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
At Centurion Cares, for more than 3 decades, their focus has been on exceeding customer expectations for contact center software solutions. Their innovative communication solutions include utility interactive voice response software that allows for smart communication features that let your utility deliver superior customer service 24/7. They also provide other streamlined services like automatic call distribution, automated customer callback, reporting, and quality assurance. To find out more about how Centurion Cares can help your business, call them at 727-421-5300 or look them up online at centurioncares.com. Centurion Cares, innovative communication solutions.
We need you.
We need you.
We need you.
We need you now more than ever.
The Southern Boone School District is hiring part-time bus drivers for route athletics and activities with no experience necessary. Our drivers enjoy flexible work hours, paid on-site CDL training, and paid time off, all while helping our community. The position offers competitive pay. Go visit sbschools.us/employment.
We need you.
Since 2018, Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC has been specializing in all things custom, using large format, high-powered lasers with some of the most advanced technologies on the market. Anything can become a canvas. The state-of-the-art system makes quick work of custom engraving on cups, glass, tile, wood, acrylic, metal, headstones with endless possibilities. They also offer custom one-of-a-kind signs that are sure to make your design stand out. Find them on Facebook at Han Custom Laser Engraving or call 573-489-8732 to find out more. Han Custom Laser Engraving LLC, a veteran-owned business.
Creating custom, handcrafted woodworking projects has never been easier. Become a member of Sawdust Studios and enjoy 24/7 access to a woodworker's paradise. Outfit with industry-leading professional-grade tools, Sawdust Studios offers endless woodworking possibilities. Don't have woodworking experience? No problem, as Sawdust Studios offers affordable classes from a community of woodworkers, experienced designers, and master craftsmen. Youth classes are also offered for those junior woodworkers. For more information, search Sawdust Studios on Facebook or find them online at sawdust247.com. Sawdust Studios, your community woodshop.
Well, good to see players from both teams exchanging some post-game conversations, some pictures, some hugs and everything around as Chase Morris was down talking to Truce for quite a little bit, and they exchanged some goodbyes. I would say greetings, but it would be goodbyes as they parted ways. And, you know, these, as we said, two teams that are very familiar with each other, just separated really, you know, just up the road a little ways. But these players, they know each other, they see each other, plus most of them are multi-sport athletes, so they also get to see each other.
No doubt, and there's a good chance that we could see them again. I hope they do, and I hope Truce is healthy because I want to see him at his best because I want to experience the man, the myth, the legend. Anyway, scores. Quite the interesting night of scores. Start out with Blair Oaks. Being Blair Oaks won 42-14 over California. The big upset tonight, in my opinion, Osage blanks Eldon 28-0. Eldon was a scoring machine up and down the field this year, so that was quite the job by the school of the Osage to come out. And anyway, Kirksville beats Moberly 34-14. No score in Mexico and Marshall. Hannibal won 48-0 over Fulton. Jeff City, no change in that halftime score, 21-14 is the last score we have. Capital City, it was leading over Rockbridge, 28-20. Cardinal Ritter from St. Louis is putting it to the Elias Catholic Crusaders, 34-14. Hickman was losing to Battle, 34-15. Russellville was up over Carrollton, 29-8. And the continued thrashing of the Parkview Vikings down in Camden, 65-6 by the Camden Lakers. They're now 4-0 in their Coach Shore's last season down there. That would be the son, Coach Shore. His dad still walks the sideline, so that's got to be quite the to see that happen. Anyway, so definitely we're going to see a very compacted district standings here.
There's going to be a log jam in the middle for sure.
Log jam, and again, it's what we expected. There was a single team in our district that was going to run the table. We knew that. Quite surprised that Eldon laid a goose egg tonight. So certainly, where the season still has a lot of potential for us. We have a lot we can do this year. Seeing improvements every single week. Seeing some contributors out there is good to see. Manuel out there doing well. Good luck to his cousin tomorrow with the Tigers. Martez from Rockbridge is his cousin. So hopefully Mizzou bounces back. But, just saw a lot of good things tonight. But, again, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And I had a coach and teacher, Pappy, say he always added my answers. So I have said that a few times in my life. So, lasting impression just shows you how important and how coaches can be to a young person as they are growing up and becoming the adult that they will in the future. So, tough loss. Still a lot to accomplish this year. So let's see how we bounce back next week against. Who do we have next week?
Versailles.
Oh, Versailles.
At Versailles.
After Versailles came to life a little bit too. Them and Osage both have been struggling, but. We need to eat well and get fat next week.
Well, I think one of the big takeaways for me this week is, they got those penalties cleaned up. Just 4 penalties for both teams. So that's relatively a penalty-free game. But, we saw some long sustained drives. Like I said, there was a 17-play drive. That was 17 plays for Southern Boone. They ended up turning it over on downs. Yeah. For Boonville, their previous drive before that 17-play drive for the Eagles was 16 plays, and they missed a 25-yard field goal. So having the sustaining drives, that ate up the clock. We only had 2.5 drives during the fourth quarter there. As much of it went to those drives, but like we said, you obviously want to get the wins, and we want to play for the win, but these young men, they're finding their place, they're learning, they're growing, all these things. And so there's definitely some good takeaways from this game. Like I said, they got the penalties cleaned up. They were able to put some drives together. But, the good thing is that they were never out of the game. It was back and forth chess match. But on that turnover on downs, that's just, a 2 foot more put on that ball, and they have a completed pass and a touchdown in the end zone. It's not much. They were just that close right there.
This great game that we love sometimes comes down to inches and feet, and it certainly did tonight. But it was a good, tough defensive shootout, defensive battle, just like I predicted. Please don't play back to the beginning of the game. Anyway, good. Like I said, hats off to the Pirates for doing a really good job. When you lose your best player, that can certainly take a lot out of you, and they did a fabulous job of kind of all rounding up together and making some changes. And number 3 did a fantastic job of taking it upon himself. Number 12, Johns, did a really good job too whenever he had. And I had no doubt when he came in running the Wildcat when Caton got hurt that I felt pretty good they were going to still convert that to a first down.
Right.
Just
And
had that feeling.
Right, and that's the thing, too, with them losing Troost as early as they did. Something that, like you talked about, is losing such a big threat there, but he's such a dual threat. Normally when you see somebody go down, well, they just lost their receiver, they lost their back, whatever it is, but, he's shown that he can throw the ball, he can catch the ball, he can run the ball, he's also their punter. I mean, he wears a lot of hats for them.
He's also a good defender as well.
Yeah,
too,
he's great on defense. So, losing him also really impacts every phase of the game that they would have. But for the most part, they were able to regroup and make the adjustments and come back. And it still was very much a chess match of sorts for the game. Which
just like chess match, it was clear from the get-go that neither Chase Morris or Truce was going to get a chance to return anything kick return-wise, since both teams were sticking to the pooch and happy with giving the other team the ball on the 35, 40-yard line. So, love the coaching match. And certainly a crazy game. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them again. I hope we see them again because I wouldn't mind having their chance, and I'd love to see them at their full 100%. I want to see Truce play.
We're going to take one more break here and still waiting to see if head coach Mark Ross makes his way up to the press box here. So we're going to take one more break and be back. And hopefully he'll be up here to join us. If not, we'll get our post-game closed out and get you set for next week as we'll be back. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football here on the Show Me Sports Network.
Last Sentinel Firearms is your federally licensed and registered Type 7 FFL manufacturer dealer in Missouri, providing quality products to all types of sports enthusiasts, law enforcement, and individuals across the nation. Orders are currently being fulfilled, offering custom-built pistols and rifles from the AR platform made right here in Missouri. Visit their website at lastsentinelfirearms.com or call them at 417-684-7202 to find out what they've got for you. Last Sentinel Firearms, you are your last line of defense.
Attention Eagles fans, here's your chance to help the student athletes of Southern Boone County by becoming a member of the Southern Boone Booster Club. Your gifts help provide all Southern Boone County athletes with a safe and positive experience while attending our school district, and also help purchase items that our sports team couldn't otherwise afford. You can join the Southern Boone Booster Club this season for as little as $25. Membership is open to everyone. Interested in joining? Look them up on Facebook by searching Southern Boone Booster Club or email them at sbcathleticboosters@gmail.com. Let's go Eagles!
Running out of some of your favorite Avon products and haven't seen an Avon brochure in quite some time? No need to worry. Avon Independent Sales Representative Michelle Carty can help with your Skin So Soft makeup, jewelry, fragrance, and skincare needs. Avon now carries cleaning supplies, clothing, daily essentials, and several small LG electronic items. You now have the opportunity to shop online 24/7 and have your order shipped directly to your front door by shopping with Michelle at mcarty.avonrepresentative.com or find her on Facebook by searching Avon Carty.
The following public service announcement is brought to you by the Eddie Gaedel Society, Jefferson City Chapter 10, doing little things to make a big difference.
Want to make a big difference in your community? Be kind to others, drive safely, and put litter in its proper place.
Join us in celebrating Eddie Gaedel's historic Major League appearance as a member of the St. Louis Browns by doing something nice for someone today.
Take a walk, Eddie.
Well, a tough night once again for Southern Boone as they drop the game by a final of 18-14. Nothing, as we've discussed, nothing to hang their head about. As a tough fought game, a chess match that we kind of thought maybe it might be, but they just come up short on the scoreboard. They had a chance to get the win there, but an incomplete pass turned it over on downs, and that was pretty much all she wrote for the game for Southern Boone. Again, they fall by a final here at Boonville of 18-14. As no rest for the weary, they'll get maybe some rest, maybe some ice, maybe some hydration here tonight and tomorrow, and then right back to work as they'll play on the road. As next week we are just down the road a little ways, but we will be at Versailles as the Versailles Tigers will be hosting the Southern Boone County Eagles, and again, another game we talked about it. That's probably going to be our MO all season long. Is a lot on the line, and that's something that is a game they're going to have to show up and fix the things they need to from this week and grow and just be that much better next week.
No doubt, and probably the good thing about Versailles playing so well against Hallsville, keeping it close, is that that hopefully means that our players won't take them lightly. If they would have lost, you have a tendency to think, okay, well, we're much better than them. We can, cut the corners here and there. But no, I don't think the coaches will allow that. Like we mentioned before, we saw some good signs of good coaching, some good signs of the players being coachable. I think we'll see that again for next week. So, but Versailles, they've been a scrappy bunch in the past, but they do have a different head coach. I recall them, 4 years ago, and we had a huge monsoon coming. We played the game on Thursday. We had our starting tailback, Colby Phillips, had cut his hand, and he didn't play. And my son even said that was the worst game he played. And Coach Silvers back then said he coached his ASS off. That's probably the game that he was the most proud of his young coaching career, and he took it to us that night. So Versailles has been known to be scrappy, but it's a good chance to get things right. It looks like only Boonville has won tonight, so basically
that is a positive.
Not much changes in the standings. Everything's going to be nice and mixed up, moshed up. It does look like the early numbers is that we are dropping from 4th to 5th. And that's because, again, Mexico and Moberly, they get those extra points when they play the bigger schools. And, of course, wins take advantage. So you're going to have Boonville and Eldon going to be 3-1. So that certainly helps their cause. Moberly, again, they lost, so they're going to be out. So Eldon and Boonville will sit at the very top. I'm interested to see what Eldon does, how they come back. Yeah.
That's the exciting thing, too, that you can watch the district standings all week long and week after week. And I'll be honest, even after week 9, after all the games have been played, we still aren't going to know how the seedings will be. It's going to take a few days for the dust to settle. And you get into that when teams can jump other teams.
I will say this, though. Yeah, you can jump. There's some jumping rules. But, yeah, I will say this. The Misha does have some better technology these days. They get things updated pretty quickly.
That is true.
Scoring down, that's nice. Usually you used to have to wait. But you're right. There is some jumping that could happen if the team ahead of you beat, if you have the same records and the points. It can be a tad confusing.
Yes. It is not necessarily super complicated, but where it gets complicated is when a team can only be jumped one time. So if they're somehow on the top of the list, but then everybody's beat them, only one person gets the benefit from that.
Right,
so that's kind of what we saw last year.
Yeah, it can be a little goofy, but again, what a great sport we have here in high school football. Every week is joyful to watch. Joyful? Anyway, hope not many people are left listening to us now. But anyway, the point is, it's a great sport. The emotions are there, ups and downs. It's a lot of fun. And I'm glad to be part of it.
Absolutely. Well, we're glad you're here on our broadcast as well. And I think that's going to wrap it up for us. As for Mike Freeze, I'm Blake Gasway for the Show Me Sports Network. Until we talk to you next week, as again, we'll be on the road. We'll be at Versailles. As pregame will start about 6:30. Kickoff set for 7 o'clock. Until we talk to you next week, we do have a couple softball games that we'll have on the air next week on Tuesday and Thursday. But until we talk to you next Friday for our next football broadcast, so long and have a great evening.
You've been listening to the biggest and absolute best coverage in mid-Missouri on the exclusive home for Southern Boone County Eagles football, the Show Me Sports Network and the Eagles Radio Network. The Show Me Sports Network broadcast crew are the ones that know your Eagles the best. Exclusive coverage of Southern Boone County Eagles football has been brought to you by Avon with Michelle Carty, Boone County Journal, Centurion Cares, Eddie Goodell Society, Han Custom Laser Engraving, LLC, Last Sentinel Firearms, Retrieving Freedom, Sawdust Studios, Southern Boone Booster Club, and Zealous WBGT. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. Join us anytime on the web at ShowMeSportsNetwork.com or find us on Facebook by searching Show Me Sports Network. The Show Me Sports Network and the Eagles Radio Network, your exclusive home for Southern Boone County Eagles football.
Serving fans throughout the Midwest and even more around the world, this is the Show Me Sports Network. The preceding was an exclusive broadcast property presentation of the Show Me Sports Network and was a high-fidelity, all-digital broadcast. This broadcast is copyright by the Show Me Sports Network for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast without the Show Me Sports Network's written consent is prohibited.